Hello and welcome to our coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling Power Struggle. The road to Power Struggle is now over. We have hit Power Struggle Roadblock, I believe, is the name of the show. Tempest will confirm that for me in a second, I'm sure. Thank you to the currently 0 people watching, according to this, but I'm sure a few people are watching. It is early on a Saturday morning, no matter where you are, unless you are in Australia. So thank you very much to everyone watching. Obviously, it means a great deal to us. You wanted us to come back after the great success of the G1, and here we are. What a power struggle. Oh, 2 people are watching. Fantastic. Tempest, why don't you run us through the card?
I believe I can do that. Well, like you said, Andy Datson, we are back. It feels like just yesterday that we were capping off the G1 Climax tournament with a big win from Kota Ibushi, and now we will see some of the fallout from said event. First up, on this 6-match card, we have Toru Yano defending the King of Pro Wrestling trophy against Zack Sabre Jr. in a no turnbuckle match. All the pads will be taken off the turnbuckles beforehand, so it should be a fun little piece of pro wrestling. Aside from that, of course, we've got the never open weight championship match of Minoru Suzuki versus Shingo Takagi, which should be just stiff as a horse, as we're used to. Aside from that, we've got Kazuchika Okada against your favorite, the Great Okan, in a singles match.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be super excited to see that. In a match I'm particularly looking forward to, you have Hiroshi Tanahashi challenging Kenta for the IWGP United States Championship #1 contendership. And of course, whoever wins this, in theory, should face Jon Moxley for the U.S. title at a certain point in the near future. I would very much like to see Hiroshi Tanahashi pick up the win in that match, but we will see. Then in the semi-main, you have Kota Ibushi defending his G1 Climax Championship Challenge Right Certificate against Jay White. They tend to have good matches together, but no one's ever won the G1 Climax and then lost the title shot, so maybe this will be the first time, maybe not, we'll see. And then the main event, once again, for the double championship, the IWGP Heavyweight, IWGP Intercontinental Championships. It's Tetsuya Naito defending the titles against Evil. Hopefully, they have a good match this time, because their record has not been fantastic together.
No, it has not. But look, we have 4 people watching. Thank you to you 4 people. It's like a little party. So welcome to, at least as far as I can see, Carol, Thalab, and Abhinav. You're all wonderful people.
I have a fan. There are people that want to see me do well.
A fan wearing fake sunglasses. How does it feel?
He's a liar. He's clearly lying. Lies make baby Jesus cry.
Yes, that. We don't know who's going to be on Quizlemania 22 quite yet. But stay tuned. The announcement always comes out on a sort of Monday, 6 o'clock our time, so around midday American time. So do keep an eye on that. Jobber JJ, hopefully it will turn up. I hope some more people do turn up. It would be awfully sad to only have 4 people watching us for 3 hours. But because there are only so few people here, do send in your questions and your messages, and we will, of course, get to those, because it would be rude not to. Abhinav asked if you've missed him.
Of course, I miss all of our lovely fans that stuck with us through all of the G1 Climax shows. We recognize everyone's name, you know? It's nice to be back and be amongst the cultured wrestling fans that watch the good stuff early in the morning.
Absolutely. Right, I'm just going to be posting. I'm just going to repost this on our community page, because join us now.
Oh goodness.
It's
Sweet caffeine.
Power struggle. Live reactions over on Wrestle2. Post. Cool. Right. So, what's everyone saying? Well, everyone. What are they saying? Get in some questions, people who are watching. Just because Tempest and I don't have really anything to talk about because we're not particularly interested in each other.
Oh, of course
Tempest,
not.
how have you been? How have you been since the G1? Have you enjoyed the last few weeks of global lockdown?
Oh, absolutely. I've just had a ball. Oh goodness. I wish I could say that it's been relaxing and all that, but work continues to pile up when the times are like this, and different projects on the table, and that's good stuff, but doesn't leave much free time. I'm afraid. Enough time to go and get tattoos colored in and new tattoos and such. So that's fun. But otherwise, my life has not been terribly exciting, as I figure most people's lives haven't been, considering the state of the world.
That's good. That's good. I just realized our banner doesn't make any sense.
Why is that?
Because it says get your Luke Owen merch and a picture of Ollie. So I'm going to make a new one in the next 5 seconds. Banner update. Save. Right, here we go. Oh, 3 people watching. We've lost 2 people. Do share this around, because otherwise we won't get to do it again.
It's true. Hey, smash that subscribe button, everybody.
Do that. Andy, I have got one. There you go. It's massive. It's huge. It is Hogwarts, with a quote from Luna Lovegood, who is my favourite Harry Potter character. You're just as sane as I am, which I always say is a terrible thing for anyone who knows me to read. Ali looking real mad that he is, of course. That's his happy face. He just wants you to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, hit like, subscribe to Patreon, and just follow all the content, really. Abhinav comes in with a hot take to say Cody is the only wrestler in AEW who presents himself like a star with the entrance, pyro, suits, and presentation of the Nightmare family. Also, Jay White is the best. I mean, he definitely does present himself as a star. I would reject the idea that he is the only one who presents himself as a star, because I think there are very much different ways of doing that. I mean, you've got John Moxley, who doesn't come out in sort of with fireworks and in a suit, but he carries himself like a champion. You've got Chris Jericho, who just knows who he is. You've got people like Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, who, while they might not be kind of in your face about it, they have just something about them as well. Their storyline are just fantastic. So while I appreciate your hot take, Abhinav, I think you're focusing too much on his personal presentation and seeing that as the only way you can be a star.
I would tend to agree. I mean, I don't think you can get away with saying that people like Chris Jericho or MJF or people of that nature aren't, coming across as stars. I mean, Chris Jericho has one of the better presentations of a pro wrestler in the game right now, and MJF certainly presents himself as a star just through his actions, his mannerisms, everything. I feel like John Moxley is very much the same way. A number of people on the roster, yes, tend to come across as, a group of wrestlers, but that's all right. But even someone like Darby Allin, he comes across as a star just because he's so different, and he doesn't seem like someone you would see on the street. Different qualities like that, I think, really help.
Abhinav has just conceded that, of course, we were right. So thank you, Abhinav. So the first match, as we mentioned, is Toru Yano against Zack Sabre Jr. So expect lots of silly jokes. And Zack Sabre Jr. also doing his Zack Sabre Jr. things, whatever those may be today. Presumably lots of slightly convoluted stretches and stuff. Zack Sabre Jr. is in action. Hashtag New Japan fan art. I don't want to do that. Hashtag not power outage either. Power struggle.
Is it too early for you to be typing things?
No, I've already written the news script for Pete.
Oh, you mean Pete doesn't do these things himself?
I think I know why only 5 people are watching. Pete's just informed me that it is unlisted.
Well, why is it unlisted?
Because you set up the stream and you're an idiot. But Pete is going to make it not unlisted, thankfully.
That's bizarre.
He said, I can't see it on Wrestle2. And he said, it's unlisted. That'll be why. Everyone in the comments, all 5 of you, called Tempest an idiot, but don't believe it.
I know that. I know I am an idiot, but I don't see how I would do that. That's I never did anything different. Okay.
Look, of course it's public. Look, 6 people are watching now.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do anything different setting up this one than all the G1 streams.
I
certainly didn't set it up as an unlisted stream.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure people will start to flood in now that it'll be on their YouTube front page. Did either of you guys watch that G1 where Yano's thing was that he wouldn't cheat and wrestle fairly? I didn't, but Tempest probably did.
I did. It didn't last very long. He tried to be a good boy and wrestle matches as you would, but of course he reverted back to his typical Yano tactics. I believe that was 2018, and it was maybe the best G1 ever. That's not true. Last year was the best G1 ever. It's not even close.
Explain what is the story behind the lack of turnbuckle pads?
Well, the King of Pro Wrestling title has unique stipulations in every match it's defended in, but like weird kind of stipulations. The tournament matches leading up to it were, one guy, like their finishers were both banned. Another match was, I think it was a submission match. One was like a 2-count match where you only needed a 2 count to win. So it's different weird stipulations like that. And of course, Yano is known to go and take off all of the turnbuckle pads in his matches. So the story here is just that why bother? Oh, now he's putting them on. Well, this is some reverse psychology.
Well, I think it's probably because he keeps being thrown into them by Zack Sabre Jr. So he wants to be. Oh dear, that didn't last very long. Zack's got him in a nose lock and his sort of neck twist thing. Sabre Jr., by the way, seems to have strapping on his knee. Hopefully that isn't anything particularly serious. Oh, I'm going to hit you with a cushion. Oh, wow. Don't do that. That'll hurt too much.
Yes, that's always my favorite spot.
And with chairs and get away with it all the time.
Yes. I remember there was a spot in the G1 match between Yano and Kenny Omega in 2018 where Yano suplexed Omega onto a bed of turnbuckle pads. And Omega braced for impact, was hit, and then just kind of sat up and looked around because he had, in fact, been suplexed onto a bunch of pillows, basically.
Yes. Yes, if I was going to wrestle, it would be in one of those like cushioned rings. Have you seen those that they've got?
Oh, yes.
They seem much more pleasant.
Yes, I would agree. It's like wrestling on a trampoline almost.
E-Man, you sent an email. Send it again. We do get a lot of emails. So unfortunately, sometimes they do go slightly under the radar. But yes, do send it again. Hopefully, we'll get a look at that. Support at WrestleTalk.com. Yes, thank you, Pete, for sorting that out, and congratulations on your engagement. Yes. Oh, thank you. 10 people are now in the stream. What a number! Do share this around if you can. Yano currently has one of the turnbuckle pads, and he's throwing it into the ring. If this kind of match isn't your thing, don't worry. Later in the show, there are much, much more exciting things to watch. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. This will not be the outlier of things to come on this show, but it is interesting. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, one half of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions alongside Taichi, but they are not defending those titles on this show, and we will likely have to wait and see who wins the World Tag League to figure out who their next challengers might be. If Yano's able to get a win here over Zack Sabre Jr., then maybe Yano partners up with Ishii like they've been known to do and go for those titles at Wrestle Kingdom. You never know, but there are possibilities still waiting to come.
Well, Yano sprayed Zack Sabre Jr. in the eyes with his disinfectant, and has now taped the turnbuckle pad onto the turnbuckle, which is interesting because he completely no-sold it, but in normal matches, they still sell that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind comedy wrestling at all, but when it's the same guy doing the same stuff all the time, it can get a bit tiresome.
Oh, yeah. I think it's entirely possible that we were at completely different parts of this match, despite it supposedly being live, but
wait, mine's not live. That'd be why.
Yeah.
Right. Yano's selling his elbow.
that might be all right, though.
Twisting it. Twist.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good.
Oh, he's doing the thing. He's doing the twist. That's a good song. I remember when this was. Take two. I remember when that was in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, Jake Ejaj is here. Ecaj, sorry, I can't read. No
It's
audio.
early.
We have got audio. We're going to press. It may be a you thing. I am the greatest at puns, and yes, he is the fact-checking extraordinaire. Thank you for sending that over, E-Man. I will let the guys know that you have sent that over.
It's true.
That's Brock Lesnar in a nutshell. Same guy doing the same things over and over. Yes, but Brock Lesnar is a bit more intimidating than Toru Yano and a slightly better wrestler, I would argue.
Just ever so slightly.
And it is not the same match in the sense that it's someone spraying someone else in the face with a squirt bottle. It is suplexes and actual wrestling moves.
Yano's trying to. Oh goodness!
He kicks out. I don't like those pins because they're clearly just waiting to move, because for the first 2 counts they don't move at all.
Yeah.
Like, you should be at least wriggling to try and get out of it.
Yes.
Oh, he's got him in a knee bar.
That was one of the things that I was taught in wrestling school, to not just lie there when you're getting rolled up. You know, you need to flail.
Yeah, because the whole idea of a roll-up is that it's a surprise pin, and it's not because you've been incapacitated. So you should probably try and move.
Indeed. I do, I don't know why. This is just me having an encyclopedic knowledge of random WWE matches and everything. But I remember the first Shawn Michaels Jericho match from 2008 of their rivalry. They wrestled at Judgment Day, and Shawn Michaels beats Chris Jericho with a roll-up, and Jericho literally just arms splayed as if he's been knocked out, doesn't move at all during this roll-up. And I was like, well, that's dumb. 11-year-old me thought that was stupid.
Well, thank you very much, Sagnick, for joining. Yes, do feel bad for us. Yes, do. And Mr. Bertwain, Gorilla Press says, watch Full Gear. I agree. Watch Full Gear along with Luke and Ollie, Mr. Davis and Lukewarm Luke Owen tonight, because the Jam That Championship is on the line. Mr. Davis takes in a 1-point lead into the show because he made the best slapping noise on a piece of meat. And for anyone wondering, here is the tail of the tape. I shall leave that on screen for just a couple of seconds just so you get an idea of exactly what will be going on later. Yeah, do join that. That starts at midnight GMT, 7 p.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. PST.
I don't know what that picture of Mr. Davis reminds me of, but it reminds me of something. Like a comic book character or something along those lines.
The thing is, when I first saw it, I thought, why has Ollie's picture been stretched? But no, that's just how he stood in the picture. Yeah. The angle of the photo makes him look like he's been stretched. But that is just what he looks like.
It's very strange, very odd. Saber currently has Yano. Oh, what a devious tactic that is. I like that. That's different.
What?
So Saber has Yano in a knee bar through the barricade, and Yano is currently tying Saber's boots together with his laces.
Yes, I've seen that through the.
So he's not going to be able to get back out.
Oh, I think Yano's about to win then.
Yeah, I think so. That is a very creative idea.
Yeah, why don't you try and undo the laces?
There you
right,
go.
Okay, great. What a match. Yes, so for those who didn't see, Toriano tied Zack Sabre Jr.'s feet together and he got stuck on the blue barricade, which in itself is a fine spot, but why didn't Zack Sabre Jr. just untie his shoelaces? It can't have been that big. That can't have been that much of a knot.
Yep.
Yes, Flaming, more New Japan. Everyone tweet that we're watching this. 25 people isn't enough to convince anyone that we should do this again.
Indeed.
Valid, you just said this was a 5 out of 7 match, or are you talking about the 7th of May or the 5th of July? Was a solid 6 out of 7. Oh, right. Okay. So you are actually talking about that. Did you guys just wake up or no sleep, Jones? What is Jones? I woke up. On a Saturday, I wake up usually pretty early to write the new script for Pete. But I believe Tempest tried to sleep, but didn't.
That is correct. I was up fairly late, probably until about midnight, my time, working on a project for the company and whatnot, and figured I would try and get a couple hours sleep, and just my brain and my body was not having it. So here I
Your
am.
mind's telling you no.
But my body's also telling me no.
No. Seth Morgana says, "Hi, Andy Crapson." Well, Seth, I just hope you know that the authorities are on the way to your house to arrest you for grievous emotional harm. That is very upsetting. Flaming says, "I just got off work. It's like 1:30 a.m. Didn't even know there was a New Japan show on. Also, didn't W get a few of these guys on Power Struggle's card? No, they didn't. That was a different. What's the other show called? The New Japan show?
Yeah, well, it's like the one that most people are going to know is the Best of the Super Juniors, which is coming up, which doesn't have any outside people in it. But the other tournament,
no, I think what it was that W are attempting to sign some kind of juniors, like New Japan guys. Isn't there like a sort of separate New Japan, like AEW have AEW Dark? Isn't there a New Japan?
Yes. This is what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
Before you cut me off, Datson.
Okay.
What I was going to say is the American branch of New Japan currently, which is mostly comprised of people who appear on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. A number of them will be competing in the Super J Cup coming up. And WWE is reportedly interested in signing a number of them, because there are a bunch of American talent working on shows. Guys like Russ Taylor, I know, has been one of them. Filthy Tom Lawler was working on a few of them. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know that WWE is interested in them in particular, but it's a series of American and US based talents working on those shows that the WWE reportedly has some interest in, and a few of them will be participating in the Super J Cup coming up in the near future.
Awesome. Well, now it's time for an actual real wrestling match, because it is Shingo Takagi against Minoru Suzuki for the is it for the Never Open?
Yes, it is for the Never Openweight Championship.
So this should be good. Woo. We saw this match in the G1. It was wonderful. So I'm fully expecting a repeat of that.
Indeed.
In this one. Thank you for the slowly increasing number of people. Christopher Jazzcat is in the chat with a very generous donation. Thanks for the coverage. The active unit is abreast. Oh, well, that's not very nice. Thanks for selling for me, Rondi. Well, you're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. Is Luke really 6'2"? I never imagined him like that. Does it say 6'2"?
I don't know. Didn't you make the tail of the tape?
Well, it says taller than you think. No. Luke is 5 foot. Luke is 5'10". I don't know where you got that from. Let's have a look. Oh well, I mean, it might just be Luke's measure. Maybe Luke didn't get the dice quite right. No,
I don't know how tall any of you people are.
Luke is 5'10". He's just shorter than me. I'm about 5'11". or 6 foot if anyone I find attractive asks. Because apparently that is a magic number.
It is.
Which makes you 12 times more attractive. It's like if you hold a guitar, you're immediately more attractive.
Oh yeah, a 6 foot tall man with a puppy and a guitar is basically a dreamboat.
Yeah, a woman with a quiche.
Flame Inc. has asked me to explain what the never open weight division is about. I mean, more or less, the never is an acronym. It basically just kind of means, fighting and fighting spirit and whatnot. But it's right in the name there. It's an open weight division. In theory, people from all weight classes are supposed to be fighting for these for the championship, both the never open weight title and the never open weight 6-man titles. So again, in theory, there should be a variety of different sized and weight classes, competitors involved in these matches. Most of the time, the belt has just kind of evolved into being the title fought over by people like Tomohiro Ishii, Shingo Takagi, Minoru Suzuki, at the time, Katsuyori Shibata, that kind of style of just like really beat the hell out of, each other and stuff like that. It's more just kind of become a style of match as opposed to a real different weight class and such like that.
Well, thank you very much, Tempest. Demigod, the time between your super chat and you asking me to read it out was less than a minute. I will read it out. I did once shout out Alina Lopez. You are quite right. What a great actress. E-Man, 74 inches. Now I don't know why you're talking about me, but thank you very much for pointing that out. Carol says, who is the tallest? It's either Pete. No, it's not Pete.
I was about to say that. I find that very hard to believe.
It's either Ollie or Adam. You'll have to go to their booking video to see who's taller. I have a suspicion it's Adam. Although none of us are particularly giant, I will say. We have more smaller people than we do taller people. I mean, I think Pete is 5'6", 7", and Louis 5'6".
Goodness.
Sorry, Nugget. And everyone else is basically the same height. Yeah. Thank you, Gorilla Press, for all your messages advertising yourself. It's very much appreciated. Laurie is the tallest. Absolutely. I don't know if Laurie is the tallest. I genuinely haven't seen them in about 8 months because of in person. So I have forgotten how tall they are. But for this match, shockingly, Suzuki is being punched in the face and selling it like he's, I don't know,
he likes
having
it.
His testicles tickled. Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah. Christopher Jazzcat with the $2 super chat saying, Kaze ni Nare. I cannot wait for the first time that fans are allowed to cheer that during Minoru Suzuki's entrance. Cannot wait. And Bell Chris says, I fear Baron Corbin. And Baron has 2 R's in his name. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, how dare you do a misspelling?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Don't worry about Tempest. I wouldn't.
Plot Twist Jones says, like the X Division in response to the never open weight. It's like kind of in a different way. Like the X Division was basically, a cruiserweight division, although they didn't put a weight limit on it. It was definitely supposed to be the more high-flying kind of style. Whereas the never open weight is kind of the same thing where there isn't an actual weight limit on it, but it's the style of, hard hitting fights and that sort of thing.
Suzuki currently has Takagi in an armbar over the top rope and appears to be big boot out of the ring. And Takagi goes crashing into the blue metal barricade.
Can I just say, as a bit of a behind the scenes aspect, I was putting together this week's WrestleTalk recap, which will be available later today on
Wow,
Wrestle2
what a obvious shameless plug.
I know, but there is a point to this. There really wasn't like a standout match of the week this week. You know, like
You're not watching Lana against whoever she faced on Raw?
Yeah. Oh god. Like the only real matches, like there was a good New Japan tag match, and I thought the Young Bucks private party match was pretty good. But otherwise there wasn't like a standout home run. This has to be the choice. So I left it kind of just like, if there is a really good match from Power Struggle, insert it here. And I'm gonna have to go and edit it again once all this is over. And I'm thinking maybe this match will be the one to take that spot.
It could well be.
It has been stiff as a horse so far.
Obviously, there is Jay White versus Iwgp later as well, so that's obviously going to be a contender.
Flame Inc. wants to know, Andy, if you had to fight everyone in the WrestleTalk offices, who would you not want to face one-on-one?
In the WrestleTalk office, Laurie. Laurie goes to gym a lot. Laurie does climbing. So he is a well-built man, and I feel like he could beat me up. Pete is a bit of a pocket. Pete used to be I'm just trying to think of the people who sort of do. Pete used to be a personal trainer. Who would I fight? Is more of a question. I'd probably have a fight. If I had to pick any of the main guys, I'd probably pick Luke. I feel like he's the least. He's the nicest, so therefore, I feel like he'd be the least likely to actually want to hit me.
I like the logic.
Yeah, I think that's probably or Louis. I feel like you could. I feel like I could beat Louis in a fight. But he has got a lower center of gravity, which can be important in wrestling.
It's true. Except for all those times in Royal Rumble matches where the commentators, when the big show comes out, they're like, oh, no one will ever be able to get him over the top rope, despite the fact that he's been eliminated in every single Royal Rumble he's ever been in.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I don't know why I brought up WWE commentary on my New Japan time.
I was shouting at it yesterday as well about the whole one night of the year that Raw and SmackDown still go head to head, despite them doing it like every other week.
Can we abolish Survivor Series? Have we moved past the need for Survivor Series? Can it be the next King of the Ring, where we just get rid of the long-running pay-per-view and never see it again?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to keep it because it's got the whole. That's when the Undertaker debuted, and it's kind of, and they think. I mean, admittedly, the 5-on-5 matches are often quite fun, but they don't make any sense. As I pointed out in my "What Went Wrong," which will go live later today on WrestleTalk.com, so go and check that out. This match is starting to increase in speed. Takagi just hit Suzuki with a running clothesline to the corner, and Suzuki seems stunned.
I hope that I can have the shred of the amount of talent that Minoru Suzuki has at 52 years old, because holy smokes, to be that good at that age is unbelievable.
Has he ever hinted at retiring, or do you reckon he's going to be going till he's 60?
It wouldn't surprise me. I think he'd hinted about leaving New Japan just because, like, they weren't really doing much with him for a while. You know, he wasn't in the G1 last year, which was bizarre. You know, like he should be in the G1 every single year. But I think they're trying to do their best to keep him happy and keep him around as much as possible these days.
Yeah. While he's never, I doubt very much he's going to become a heavyweight champion. He certainly brings something to every match he's in, and brings something to every card he's on. And he wrestles in a pretty, should we say, risk-free way.
Yeah, they hit each other very hard in safe places.
Yes, he's not going to be flying around the ring, so it's unlikely he's going to twist a knee or anything like that, or have an injury which could spell the end of his in-ring career.
Yes, he wrestles a style that you should be able to do for long periods of time.
Yes, like The Miz.
Please, sir, never compare Minoru Suzuki to The Miz. That is an appalling comparison.
Flamink says that bragging rights is better than Survivor Series will ever be.
I mean, Survivor Series right now basically just is bragging rights.
Yes, it is. You are champion. I am champion. Let's fight. Because all it does is it stops current feuds, and after the show on the Raw and SmackDown, whoever wins, their commentators might say, "Oh yeah, we won that," and then they will never mention it again. So what was the point?
You know,
especially as Raw has won, apart from last year when they were just trying to advertise NXT. Raw has won every single of the last 5 years.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
Trust me, I did my research on this one.
Yeah. Well, because I was going to say, I was at Survivor Series in 2016, right? The first year that they did the reintroduction of the brand split and whatever. And it totally baffled me. Again, it happened again years later where it just didn't make any fucking sense anyway. Excuse me. But like, where you have like, say, 5 matches between Raw and SmackDown. And of the first 4, Raw won 3 of them. So they've already won the majority. You don't need to do the last match. You know? It's like, oh, it's whoever wins the majority of these matches is going to, you know, win bragging rights at Survivor Series. And it's like, well, Raw already won. Let's go do this last match anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh well, SmackDown needs some pride. I mean, what one of them should really do is, if they realize they're losing, just one of them should just run out and say and claim that they've won it. Because I hear that works too.
Yeah.
And then if the other team then claims that they've won it, get really upset at them and tell them they can't claim they've won it because that's not right.
Oh, a big snap DDT from Shingo Takagi.
And a running sort of knee sliding lariat as well. Takagi is definitely on top in this match. Suzuki appears to be sort of targeting the strapped up lower back of Takagi. But Shingo has been for the vast majority. This is some kind of pump handle. He's going for Made in Japan, but he appears to have hurt his knee, groin, hip.
Could be anything, really.
It appears that Suzuki is trying to capitalize on this with some kind of Boston Crab, but doesn't succeed. Oh, here we go. Yeah, single leg Boston Crab, but Takagi is immediately grabbing the ropes.
It is nice to hear from the likes of Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero and everybody. As much as I did grow to love the Japanese commentary in the G1, Kevin Kelly is just the best in the game right now.
Well, Michael Cole.
You know, Pete tried to say that Michael Cole is better than Jim Ross right now. And I disagree, to put it lightly.
Jim Ross has his annoying moments, but I think the majority of the time he is less insufferable.
I can't listen to Michael Cole.
While
Everything he says sucks.
While I respect Michael Cole's tenure and his dedication and just his absolute WWE-ness, where he just knows exactly what Vince wants to say, I cannot get over every time someone comes out, he has to say the exact same thing. It does get very, very irksome.
Like, the two moments in WWE in recent years that have probably made me feel the happiest were the returns of the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania and then Edge at the Royal Rumble. And I can't watch those clips anymore because both times you just hear Michael Cole go, "Oh my!"
Yeah,
like an absolute jackass, and just completely ruins every big moment.
I'm sure there's a way of cutting out his audio.
Yeah, if you can just take out the commentator audio and move on, I would do it in a heartbeat. What in the world?
Suzuki once again targeting that leg. Is Takagi bleeding from the head, or is that his hair color?
I think it might be his hair color.
Either way, it looks cool.
Movie Nation says, "Oh,
no,
we're both gonna read it." He says, "I like Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor. He's grown on me over the years. You know, I like Ian Riccaboni. I just wish, well, Ring of Honor has been good since returning from their layoff with the Pure Championship tournament. I was a big fan of that, so I hope they continue doing well because their 2019 was terrible."
By the way, if anyone's wondering why I'm only using one ear of my headphones, I got these wireless headphones the other day, and my head is far too big. I don't. If anyone has ever met me in person, which I'm not sure anyone in this stream has, but I do have a very large head. You may remember that when I shaved my hair off earlier this year, I did look a bit like a light bulb.
It's true. I do recall.
Takagi is really selling this hip now. Every time he tries to lift Suzuki up, his hip gives in and he falls to the canvas. So it appears that this is the story they are telling now. He has been strapped up from the start of the match. So, yes, it certainly seems that they are going to be using this injury going forward. Oh, bunch of headbutts coming in here from both men.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow. A giant shoulder, shoulder forearm tackle from Takagi.
That's fun. The shoulder forearm tackle.
It was, he sort of did do that, though.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know what he meant to. I don't know if it was a slight miscommunication, but either way, it was effective.
Carol here in the chat says Tempest for WWE commentator. I can guarantee you that is not a job that I want.
Yeah, I would like a job with the same amount of money being paid for it, but I wouldn't want to do that.
Yes.
I've been told I have a voice for radio, but I don't think I'd want to sit next to Michael Cole whilst he's doing all his things. Sure, he's a nice fella.
Why? Why are you sure of that?
Because I don't want him to be mean to me.
I suppose.
Do ask us some questions now that there aren't too many people here, so we will definitely answer your questions if you send them in, as long as they aren't unusual. Even if they are unusual, we may still answer them.
Yeah, entirely possible. Flaming says, would Shivani, JR, and Moro be the best three-man commentary? I need
think-
Kevin Kelly in anything. Honestly, I think the best 3-man commentary team you can get right now is probably the one we're listening to. You know, Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, and Rocky Romero are just fantastic.
As much as I love Moro, I don't think he would work in that setting because he can be very sort of overpowering almost. I don't think he would work with a JR or a Tony Schiavone. Like it, I don't like as much as I like all three of them separately. I don't. He's very sort of. He's very over the top, and therefore I don't think you would want a commentary team where JR only said something now and then because one of the guys was just talking so much.
Agreed. Demigod 301 says that he misses Moro, but he's happy that he's happy. Agreed. Whatever is best for Moro Ranallo.
And by the way, Shingo Takagi just won the Never Openweight Championship. What's his remind me his finisher's name?
That would be the Last of the Dragon.
The Last of the Dragon. So he hits that for the win. Very, very good match. Very good selling from Takagi there. Really enjoyed that. Suzuki is convulsing. I'm sure hopefully he's just selling. Very good match though. So I think that probably went about just over 20 minutes, maybe 25. So yeah, very nice match and a much more refreshing watch than the opening match between Toru Yano and Zack Sabre Jr.
I would have to agree there. Hopefully, we're gonna have to wait and see what becomes of this going into Wrestle Kingdom. But Shingo Takagi now never openweight champion. Maybe another match with Minoru Suzuki. We'll see. Maybe a match with Tomohiro Ishii. Those two have good matches together. You never know.
Suzuki, by the way, I noticed that he always bumps on his hip. I mean, his hips must maybe be made of jelly. He always never sort of seems to flat back bump. It's always slightly sideways. I don't know whether he's just got like a weight in one of his hips, and therefore when he's in the air, it just turns slowly.
It's possible, I suppose.
He's actually oh, go on then. Ask some questions.
Christopher Jazzcat wants to know what has been our favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling match.
Toru Yano versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the opening match of this one. What do you mean? Does he mean ever?
I would presume so.
I think the 60-minute match between, well, not the 60-minute, the
you got to be more specific.
Was it Iron Man?
It was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
2 out of 3 falls match between Kenny Omega and Okada. I've never watched a match like it.
Yeah, I mean that match is just on another level. It is the 7-star match, of course. I would have to say that one just because I think it's probably the best match I've ever seen in my life. But there have been other ones that I've absolutely fallen in love with just the same. Whether it be Kenny Omega versus Tomohiro Ishii from the G1 in 2018, I go back to quite often. I really like that match. The Golden Lovers against the Young Bucks was another really good one. I could just go on and list them for days and days. But those are probably the top few. Josh Watson wants to know, if you could work for a wrestling promotion, what would it be?
I would probably work for... I was going to say AW. But then, I'd probably get those money from WWE. I was still going to go AEW. I don't know what role it would be. I certainly not as a wrestler because I'm too hard and too strong. They wouldn't let me in the ring because I'm too dangerous. But what they might, I don't know. Maybe as a ring announcer. I like Justin Roberts. I don't know why it pisses me off how he says the Young Bucks though.
Young.
No, he doesn't. He goes Bucks. Bucks.
If I were
sorry, yes, carry on. What would you do?
Oh yes. If it was as a wrestler, I would say New Japan Pro Wrestling, just because I think the wrestling there is at the highest level possible, and also the training there is just on another level. So if I was able to go to a dojo and learn their way and move my way through, that would be it. But as an actual job, as much as you can call anything in wrestling an actual job, I would probably say AEW, just because it seems like a fun place to work. You know?
Yes. Where you can be creative.
Yeah, like having gotten the chance to speak with Tony Khan a little bit in the past and listening to a number of the interviews that he's done recently, he just seems like a very kind of chill, fun, creative fellow, you know, with lots of like fun ideas.
Like Vince McMahon, you mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, but like he just did an interview with the F4W crew saying that he came up with the idea for the Hangman Kenny don't know what you got till it's gone video package while watching South Park. You know, it's just like it seems like it would be a fun place to work. Plot Twist Jones, I don't know how you're gonna be able to answer this question, but he asks, what are your first correct prediction in wrestling? Like, what was the first thing that you predicted and guessed right, I guess?
I have no idea. I'm assuming you don't just mean a match.
Yeah, it could be. His example was Eric Bischoff being the GM of Raw, but
I honestly can't remember at all. Probably someone returning at a show, someone who won the Rumble. It was. I mean, it would have been 15 years ago. So, I predicted that the greatest match of all time would be Alicia Fox versus whoever it was, Melina. I was like
Melina.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was the absolute first, but I know that I predicted that Shawn Michaels would end Ric Flair's career at WrestleMania when I was 11. And I'd only been watching for 2 months at that point. So I would have to say that was probably it.
Yeah.
It made sense to me to look at it and be like, okay, well, is Ric Flair going to retire at WrestleMania, or is he going to retire at Backlash a month later? He's probably not winning this match, you know?
Yeah, I guess for an 11-year-old, that's quite impressive. But I mean, wasn't it pretty widely known that?
I mean,
he was retiring.
I was 11. I didn't know what the internet dirt sheets were.
That's true. Did you believe? At what point did you stop thinking it was real?
Oh goodness. I mean, like, I knew that there was chicanery going on. I knew I wasn't watching like mixed martial arts or whatever. But oh goodness. It was a while. Maybe a year in when I was like 12.
I already hate this match.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
It's not a great start. The Great Okan is doing weird karate chops to
honestly, this is his entire moveset. He does double axe handles, double chops, and a face thing. Yeah. It is all rubbish. I really, really think he sucks. And he's got one of the worst haircuts in wrestling. Especially when you've got someone like Okada who has lovely hair.
Yeah, Okan with the shaved head and the rat tail is not a great combo. But yeah, I think when what was it? When Matt Hardy turned on Jeff Hardy at the Royal Rumble in like 2009, cost him the title and killed his dog and blew him up with his pyro and all that stuff.
Yes.
Well, I was reading the internet by that point, and I knew that the idea was that it was supposed to be Christian to come back and be doing all that stuff to Jeff Hardy. And then it got out, so we had to change it, and they changed it to Matt Hardy. I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb.
Yeah, that's the way, isn't it? Something gets leaked, well, that's not happening anymore. Because that then proves that the leak was fake.
Stupid. But aside from that, other questions. Carol wants to know, why are you not challenging for the Jam That Championship?
Me?
Yes, you.
At the moment, the Jam That Championship division is very small. You have to qualify for it first, and only 2 people have yet qualified, and that is Lukewarm Luke Owen and Mr. Davis. But I'm sure one day I will have my name on that belt. It is only a matter of time. I just need to prove myself to management. I need to grab that brass ring.
You do that, son. You grab that opportunity. Goodness. Movie Nation wants to know who the best never openweight champion of all time has been. I'm sure I can divert to your grand expertise on this one.
It's Shingo Takagi.
With a long reign, it might end up being. There isn't like a great standout never openweight champion. There's been very good ones, like Tomohiro Ishii was a really good one. Minoru Suzuki's been a really good one. Shibata's been a really good one. Those are probably like your top tier guys as far as the never openweight belt goes. So if you wanted to pick any of those guys.
I think the first time I ever watched New Japan, I think Goto was the champion.
Yeah, that could have been. I don't know when that would have been.
Was he the champion at? Was he the champion at the Kingdom with Chris Jericho?
Yes, he won it from Minoru Suzuki on that show.
That'll be why.
Yeah,
I remember it.
What Flame Inc. Has a question. What would be your best past versus present, both in their prime match? And he says his would be Walter versus Ric Flair or DDP versus Randy Orton. It's an interesting example, nonetheless.
Those are very interesting examples, but each their own. I would pick. Oh man, that's always hard. Michael's Brian. Michael's Omega.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bret Hart and Brian. Because I love me some Bret Hart very, very much. Bret Hart and Tanahashi, honestly, if we're going real crazy cross promotion type deal.
What about John Gonzalez versus Tempest? That's the match.
That would be a match. That would be a match. My mask against his body.
Double axe handles. Stop doing double axe handles. It's the worst move in wrestling. Looks so stupid. Especially top rope double axe handles. What's the point? Do something else.
Don't you besmirch the name of Randy Savage.
It's such a dumb move. If you're on the top rope, do an elbow. That hurts more than doing that.
It's true. Got you there.
Like if you're making all the effort to go up to the top rope, why would you then ruin it by doing a double axe handle?
Brian Robinson wants to know, how do people become referees? I can't imagine anyone wanting to be a referee growing up. This goes for all sports. No, you don't know that. Certain people want to.
I think often it is people who want to be a wrestler realize they don't quite have it, or don't quite have the sort of physical ability. And what's he doing now? A sliding drop kick. He did his weird screaming rubbish chop thing as well. If you didn't notice, everyone, I really don't like the Great Okada. I watched him many, many times while he was in the UK at Revolution Pro Wrestling, and every single time I thought this guy is rubbish. And he's never
I'll be
proved me
honest.
wrong.
I've never heard a good thing about this guy. I've never seen him wrestle prior to his return, aside from like when he was a young lion. But everything that I've heard about Great-O-Khan has been negative, and now having seen him in 2 matches, I totally understand why.
Oh man, Okada hitting the weakest elbows. Oh, here we go. He's going for a neck breaker. Okada's going to lose this. I know Okada's losing this match.
Absolutely not. They're not going to have Okada lose to this guy.
Ospreay's at ringside. Ospreay's going to do something. Ospreay, for some reason, looking like, I don't know. So in Rev Pro, he had O'Khan had a manager who I forget the name of. He was like Lord Gideon Gray or something like that.
That sounds about right.
And he was just this very posh. I mean, I don't know what that move was. O'Connor's missed with a slap. Yeah, he had a manager who was basically a very posh British man, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do with Ospreay now. Oh, a sort of end of days thing. Oh, the money clip. Not quite.
My favorite move.
It's what is this? This is some kind of choke.
Yeah, it's like a standing triangle choke. Stupid. Oh, goodness. What else have we got here? Christopher Jazzcat asked, favorite wrestling hair? That would be Hiroshi Tanahashi, the greatest hair in the universe.
Hiroshi. Well, should we do male and female? Hiroshi Tanahashi is definitely got the best male hair. Women's hair.
Women's hair.
Sasha Banks, because it's purple. I know
Sure.
it's real, but I like it. Becky Lynch has got good hair as well.
Yeah. Sure.
And Bailey wants to talk to my manager.
I really don't pay attention enough to women's hair in wrestling, honestly.
It's because you're a massive sexist.
Oh, absolutely. Christopher Jazzcat wants to know what our favorite wrestling match of all time is, period.
I'll stop doing that stupid screaming rubbish chop. Not this one.
Really, I couldn't tell.
My favorite wrestling match of all time. Probably one of the Royal Rumbles. I just love Royal Rumbles. They are just my favorite. God, Will Ospreay is having it finding it difficult to think this match is good, especially when he's Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Well, Okada has hit the big drop kick.
Do explain what yours is.
Yes, my favorite wrestling match of all time. It has changed in the last few months. 10 minutes. Oh, he's going for the money clip. Whatever.
Tap. It's a great move. Tap. Tap. Oh, no. He's using the taped up hand. Oh, how can... Oh, no.
Oh, Lord.
He's got to let go because that hand is so strong. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
No.
God, I thought they'd botched it. But it was actually a rollout. God, I thought they'd absolutely screwed that up.
Anyway, I don't care. My favorite wrestling match of all time is the Young Bucks against Hangman Page and Kenny Omega from Revolution.
That could also, that's up there with me as well. Just because I watched it live with Ollie, which is always a good laugh.
Well, I watched it live in person with Sean Ross Sapp. So,
what, next to him?
We were pretty close together. We were definitely in the same row. I don't know if he was like right next to me, but we exchanged pleasantries after the show.
You're lying.
I know. But that was definitely the best match I've ever seen live, and I've gone back and watched it like another 3 or 4 times since. It's just the best tag team match I've ever seen.
So the only matches that I go back and watch again are Royal Rumbles.
Mm.
But once I know what happens in a match, it's like I'll never watch a football match again.
Money clip. Yes, but a good wrestling match is like it's like a movie. You'll go back and watch a movie again. I guess maybe you don't. But
not really.
Yeah, I realized as I was saying that you said you don't really go and watch movies.
There are certain movies that I will watch again, like the Lord of the Rings series and Star Wars and things like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of standalone movies, I watch About Time.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually watching. I'm going to watch a film with my lady partner tonight over.
Spinning Ring Ranger.
Over Zoom.
What's the movie?
It's called Loving. It is a 2016 film about people two people who are in love securing rights for white people to marry people of color or whatever. I'm sorry if that was not politically correct. Black people in America, because as you know, it was illegal. Oh my God, he's got him! Oh, thank God for that.
I think you hit it. I think you hit it right the first time.
I think my money hit clip is my favorite move ever now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, no. So that's apparently it is a very good film from 2016. So I'll be watching that over Zoom because now that there is another lockdown in the UK, I can't go and see her.
Yeah. This is the world we live in. Whoa.
By the way, I'm not complaining about there being a lockdown. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Well, it is irritating, but necessary.
Yes.
Going through some of the chats that have piled up here. Movie Nation's first prediction that they ever got right was Brock Lesnar winning the WWE title at SummerSlam 2002. Good on you. Brian Robinson says wrestling was much better back when it was unpredictable. The internet didn't ruin it. Well, again, to each their own. Plot Twist Jones says, Tempest, if you were to go to New Japan, would you have to lose the mask or have a black mask? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I might have to lose the mask, but I don't foresee it being an issue in the near future, so that's a problem for tomorrow. Profound Experience says, any coffee on deck? I have finished my little coffee drink. I have another one in the fridge if need be. If I find myself falling asleep after, I believe they're going to do the intermission soon. Oh, Ospreay's getting in the ring. They're going to have a stare down.
Just the match for Wrestle Kingdom?
I would think so. I want to see Ospreay wrestle a whole match in that suit.
Yeah, I hope that's the end of Great O'Khan.
Forever.
He'll never be seen again. New Japan, the guys backstage just watched that and went, good God.
Oh, microphone. Says that Okada has passed his test.
Oh, thank you for translating.
Oh, you're welcome. For the people that aren't actually watching.
I can hear yours, I think, by the way.
Yeah, that's about right. Says that Chaos and Will Ospreay all used Okada. He used him to get more popular.
Do the Japanese crowd know what he's talking about? Is someone translating?
No, it would generally just be like they pick up what they pick up. You know, a lot of the times when people do English promos, they try and use short sentences with words that everyone would typically understand.
How long into his career did Omega learn Japanese? Because he was doing full Japanese for as long as I watched.
Yeah, well, I mean, because he worked in DDT for like 6 years basically before he moved to New Japan full time. So I'm pretty sure by the time he had gotten to New Japan, he had, you know, he was fluent in Japanese. I'm anticipating a match announcement here at any point.
Oh, so his gimmick is I am rich and British.
Surely it'll get over. He just threw a supposed 10,000-pound watch into the rampway. If he'd thrown it into the crowd, I would think he's for real.
It didn't look that heavy.
I don't appreciate your humor this early in the morning.
Japanese crowd clapping politely. Yeah, there we go. Okada Ospreay at the Tokyo Dome.
Yep. Well, hopefully Okada pulls out the Rainmaker for that match.
Yeah, the crowd got that bit. Yes. Kiss. Oh, is he going to go English or is he going to go Japanese? I think that's Japanese.
So he's basically just accepted Will Ospreay's challenge. All right, so there's your match for Wrestle Kingdom. Should be very good.
And my fancy booking is that Okada locks in the money clip in the first 10 seconds and taps him out after 10 minutes of him being in the money clip.
That would be a surprise. So
well, I don't know your thoughts on that match, but yeah, no, do read some chats.
Yes, kind of got sidetracked there with a promo, having to pay attention and whatnot. But yeah, back to it. Flaming says Ollie versus Luke reminds me of Adam versus Adam. Well, we are the presenters of this channel. So other matches from past and present that people want to see. Brian Robinson says Austin versus Moxley. I would be down for that.
Yeah.
Demigod 301 says Kenny Omega versus Eddie Guerrero. Again, I would be down. Christopher Jazzcat says Brett versus Zack Sabre Jr. Likewise. Movie Nation, I think, tries to say Daniel Bryan, but wrote Brian with an I and Daniels. It's interesting. But, well, we got the point. Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Steamboat, which would be good. Christopher Jazzcat says New Jack versus Seth Rollins. I don't know what Seth Rollins ever did to you, Christopher Jazzcat, but that would be interesting to say the least. Movie Nation also says Kenny Omega versus Ric Flair. That would be good. Brian Robinson with an interesting one, saying the 3 faces of Foley against the 3 faces of Bray Wyatt. That would be an interesting match, you know. As those who've watched Wrestling Daily know, my hot take that was on a recent episode was that I'm not the biggest fan of Bray Wyatt's character, but working with Mick Foley, both in their prime, I think would be very, very good for both of them. They're now previewing the best of the Super Juniors. Movie Nation says CM Punk versus The Rock, but Movie Nation, we got that match. It was a solid okay. It was a good match. It was good. Josh Watson says Samoa Joe versus Steve Austin. I would like to see that. Movie Nation says The Big Show versus Yokozuna. I think I would have like a perverse need to see that match. See if the ring would collapse. Christopher Jazzcat again just says he really wants to see Bryan versus Zack Sabre Jr. now. Well, I don't think we're going to get to see that match. If Bryan had left WWE back in 2017, 2018 like he wanted, maybe we would have. But otherwise, shame, not so much. Flaming says, what match do you hate that everyone loves? His is CM Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank. That is an interesting opinion.
What match do I hate that everyone loves?
I've walked myself back from absolutely hating it, but I think everyone in the world liked that Roman Reigns Jey Uso Hell in a Cell match more than me.
Yeah, you did. You were not a fan at the start.
I will be honest. I think a large portion of that was just because the referee in that match really pissed me off. For like 7 straight minutes, he was just right up into the camera on Jey Uso's face, just saying like, Jay, do you quit? Do you quit now, Jay? Jay, how about now? Jay, just got to quit. Let's just quit. You know, Jay, do you quit? For nonstop. It was just a continuous string of audio. And it was, I turned on the match. But I do think everyone else in the world still likes that match more than me. Can't really think of like a match that I hate.
Yeah,
like, I don't hate
I pretty much go with what the fans say. Because the reason they like it is because it was good.
I like there are some of those like divisive matches where it's just like I didn't really like the Omega Moxley Lights Out match from last year, where they went 45 minutes of just like crazy, hardcore stuff. But that's just because I don't like hardcore wrestling that much.
See, I appreciate how that, like, as in terms of storytelling and a match, Cody versus Dustin was basically perfect. It's just that much blood and stuff is just not for me.
Yeah.
Like the blading, and the fact that you could see it like throb. The blood was just like literally throbbing out of his head. That's like that just become, for me, all I'm doing there is wondering, is he going to pass out through actual blood loss?
See, I agree, but that is an example of a match where I can then go back and watch it after the fact, knowing that he didn't die, and enjoy it, But I do agree with you. Movie Nation says Brock Lesnar versus the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, I watched 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior was not very good.
No, he wasn't good, and he wasn't a good person either. So I'm not an Ultimate Warrior fan. And Movie Nation wants to know least favorite theme song, Brie Bella.
Reload.
It's
Leo
the
Rush.
worst song. I hate that song very much. Like, as far as like one song that's like actively bad, there's a bunch of them that are like really generic, especially now where everyone just has like generic rock theme number 7. You know, that Brie mode song is horrendous. CFO S $ whatever should be ashamed of putting that one together.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think more sort of modern ones. The one like what's your least favorite of people who wrestle at the moment? I mean, I wish they would change Roman Reigns immediately offensive to my ears.
I don't know. Like, because that's the problem. Like, all the ones that I actively dislike are just like, they're all just generic, so none of them really stand out. You know? Do either of the Iconics still use that song? I don't
know. That is annoying though.
I hate that song, and I've hated that song since they were in NXT, but I don't know if they still use it. I think they do, but regardless, you know, there's a lot of bad wrestling songs out there, just as there are a lot of good ones. Christopher Jazzcat says his favorite match of all time is Punk versus Joe 2. An excellent choice, my Ring of Honor friend.
Okay, so the Super J Cup will have English commentary.
Oh, that's good. That's fun. I like hearing that.
That's what they've just announced, I believe.
Deca Red says biggest pet peeve in wrestling. Not flailing on a roll up, perhaps.
Oh no, Gray O'Khan.
There's a looking at the referee's hand as it's
wrestlers having finishers that are like when a wrestler has a great moveset but their finisher is rubbish. Like John Morrison.
Yeah.
Bailey. There are so many of them who have just a really good moveset and then they decide to end match with something like a flipping Bailey to belly.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, then Bailey decided to change up and do that kind of face buster knee thing, and that looks rubbish as well. It's like, Bailey, you're so good. Yeah. You can have a good finisher. It is allowed.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. Like off the top of my head, I can't really think of too much. But
just commentators lying.
Yeah, stupid commentators, stupid referees, anything that makes me feel stupid for watching it because it's stupid. You know,
it depends which promotion I'm watching. If it's New Japan, it's the referees.
Yes, I agree.
Without a doubt, the referees who are just the biggest idiots on the planet.
I agree.
But for WWE, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but I'm not sure if there's the one that's
everything about WWE. WWE,
I'm not sure. I think it's having matches for no reason, like putting matches inside Hell in a Cell for no reason, ruining the concept of Hell in a Cell by having people break in all the time.
Yeah, gimmick pay-per-views.
Matches that end in a DQ, no DQ matches ending in a no contest.
Yeah. WWE doing the same match on pay-per-view 6 months in a row is up there. Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio facing either Seth Rollins or Murphy on every show since April is like a good example of it. There's too much. Movie Nation wants to know who has the best merch right now. WrestleTalk. Go to WrestleTalkmerch.com and order some.
Yes, do that. WrestleTalkmerch.com. Buy yourself a t-shirt, buy yourself a hoodie, buy yourself a mug, and that's Christmas sorted.
There are people with good merch. I don't like wrestling shirts that look like wrestling shirts. If you know what I mean. You know, like a big, crazy, wacky design on the front. I've grown out of wanting to wear stuff like that. You know, like this is a really long intermission. But I don't know. The Bullet Club merch is all kind of looks the same, but they have good stuff. Brian Robinson said with his answer of match that he hates that everyone else loves. His answer is The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. Says all they did was trade signatures and finishers back and forth with a million false kickouts. Man, that's crazy. That's the same criticism people lay against the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and whatever. Regardless, I mean, I also I don't hate that match. I still think it's a fantastic, great match. But when people say it's the greatest match of all time, I tend to disagree with them. But again, opinions. Plot Twist Jones says, anyone remember the Fatal 4-Way TLC Tag Team match on SmackDown? I sure do, Plot Twist Jones. It was the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and Benoit and Jericho for the Tag Team Championships. Benoit and Jericho won it, and Benoit broke his neck in that match.
Yes.
Back check.
Didn't have a great time of things around that time.
It's true. I will say I wrote about this earlier this year in one of our features on WrestleTalk.com, but the turnaround from the Raw Monday that week to the following night of doing that TLC match had perhaps the best 2-day stretch in WWE history as far as match quality goes for two guys, because Benoit and Jericho wrestled Steve Austin and Triple H in the match where Triple H tore his quad in the main event of Raw for the tag titles, which is maybe the best match in Raw history. Like, it's that good. It's really, really great. And then the very next night, they had a 4-way TLC match for it, which is maybe the best match in SmackDown history. So it was like literally one day apart. They maybe had the best matches in Raw and SmackDown history. It's just, I don't know, interesting tidbit. Movie Nation, I'm coming back to that one because there's a lot. Oh, I'm near the end. There's a lot that we can go into for that question. I'll just ask it now. Best mic skills in wrestling right now. There are too many, but right now I am freaking in love with Eddie Kingston. Everything about Eddie Kingston's promos to me are just real and raw and gritty, and I believe them. They feel authentic. I just love that. Like, a lot of the time, you know, you can have like really great people, like really great promos from guys like Jericho or MJF or whoever, but I still kind of feel like they're performing, you know? Like, as great as MJF is, I still kind of believe that on some level he's like, you know, he's playing it up. He's cutting a promo.
I think someone said the other day.
I just think it's him.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think someone said the other day, like, someone needs to tell Eddie Kingston that wrestling isn't real.
Yeah.
Because it feels like he means it. I think the best mic skills, from what I've heard, are Maria Kanellis. I hear she has great mic skills.
Ha. Ha ha. Ha. Funny.
Thank
Hilarious. You. Man, this intermission's still going.
Yeah, I guess they've got to
disinfect a
clean the ring.
I guess.
I mean, it takes me a long time to disinfect my ring.
I bet it does. Continuing on, Flame Inc. says, if you had to spend 1 year in lockdown with one of the following, who would it be and why? Sean Ross Sapp, Jim Cornette, Eric Bischoff, or Vince McMahon?
Definitely Sean Ross Sapp.
Yeah, it's Sean Ross Sapp. The other three are...
He's the only one who isn't a dick.
As much as Sean Ross Sapp plays up being a heel on Quizzlemania,
He's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
A genuinely lovely fellow. I wouldn't want to spend 5 minutes with the other three.
It's like going, who'd you rather spend a year on an island with? Your best friend, Ted Bundy, BTK, or Hitler? Oh, I wonder which one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting 4 choices. I wouldn't want to spend more than 5 minutes with the other 3. Jim Cornette might be a second, just because I think I could have a 5-minute conversation with him and avoid topics that would piss him or I off. But I don't want to. I could have a whole day talking with Sean Ross Sapp and not worry about it.
Vince McMahon. It might be interesting, though, but not for a year.
I want to do a case study on Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
just like sneeze around him and see what happens. But no, not for a year. Thank you. I would probably off myself. Carol here says HBK winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles was amazing to me back in the day. I can remember cheering so loud for him each time. Well, I hope the second one was better than the first one, because that 95 Royal Rumble was not great. It's one of the few Royal Rumbles from that period where I've watched it all the way through. Not a good year for the Royal Rumble. Not a good year for any WWE anything, really. 95 is a bad year.
It is Hiroshi Tanahashi against Kenta now, I believe.
I'm very excited for this one. Give me Hiroshi Tanahashi against Jon Moxley. Flame Inc. says, did Shinsuke Nakamura versus Okada ever happen? Yes, it was the finals of the G1 Climax tournament in 2014. 2014 it was, and Okada got the win. This is the interesting period where Shinsuke Nakamura was the leader of Chaos, but he held the number 2 belt in the company, and Okada was like second in command in Chaos, but was heavyweight champion all the time. So an oh goodness, oh god, I almost died trying to explain Chaos. Yeah, an interesting dynamic to say the least. I miss Shinsuke Nakamura in New Japan. Absolutely. Let's see. Valid Mabadaputi says Ishimori versus Hiromu Takahashi on day 1 of the Best of the Super Juniors. That's right. They were announcing some of the matches. Very exciting. That, of course, was the rematch of the Jingu show, which was very good.
The juniors and the heavyweights, is it a weight thing, or is it just how big you look?
It's
or is it just can it just be I've decided I'm a heavyweight now?
I mean, that's kind of how it's gone the last little while. I don't think Shingo Takagi really bulked up that much from when he was a junior, quote unquote junior, because I thought he was too big to be a junior anyway. But in theory, you have to make a certain weight limit prior to the Best of the Super Junior tournament before it started. But it's wrestling. You know, it's not like the Cruiserweight Classic where they really did weigh people in that tournament, where if you weren't 205 pounds, they would have cut you. You know, that's some pretty hardcore stuff. Christopher Jazzcat says, which wrestler do you not love that everyone else seems to? For him, it's Pentagon. Yeah, I saw you kind of get into it with Ollie and Luke when Penta faced Omega a week or two ago. But I don't think anybody loves Great O'Khan. What wrestler do I not? There's a few. I do not like Triple H. And I know he has his supporters. Again, I'm kind of like meh on Randy Orton. Again, like if people say he's great, like, yeah, I know Randy Orton's great, but he just doesn't show it often enough for me to be like, yeah, Randy Orton's great. You know.
No, I can agree with that quite comfortably.
The people who think The Miz is like a good wrestler are out of their goddamn minds.
Who don't I like?
Someone on that. I don't like Dolph Ziggler either. Prior to 2013, I was a big Dolph Ziggler fan. but everything since then, I'm over Dolph Ziggler.
I'm trying to think who I genuinely don't like that other people tend to. I don't know. Sorry, what's that? What's he signing? Or what's he?
Well, it's for the contract, right? So whoever wins this gets the contract to face Moxley. So,
oh right,
I do like that kind of. That was interesting because like the Money in the Bank briefcase has popped open from time to time, and there's nothing in it, which always to me was like, oh, there's a contract in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, no, there's not. It's just a piece of luggage.
No, that one time it had that thing in it. It had the slime in it.
Oh yeah, it did. How could I ever forget? Who was that? Was that was Ziggler? No,
that was Seth.
That's right. I just watched whoever it was, whatever it was.
Typical Tempest, not knowing.
It was no, because I couldn't remember which thing I'd just seen it in. Because I just watched Adam's booking Roman Reigns video where they talk about that and the Shield and whatnot. This match is underway, but it'll take a minute or so to get started.
Who don't I like that other people do like? I like Becky Lynch's character. I don't think she's a particularly good wrestler. Who else don't I like particularly? Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, like, because that's the thing. I don't think I have too many unpopular opinions. I just think that the people who disagree with me are wrong.
That's true. Well, they are.
If that makes sense.
Good, confident in yourself.
I don't recommend that for many people, but I have confidence in my thoughts on wrestling. Shardula Shankar says, what are the Iconics? Don't you mean Billy Kay and one half of blonde tag team of Raw, Peyton Royce? Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
The fact that anyone bought into the fact that they were going to do something new with Peyton Royce. Did you see Carmella on SmackDown last night?
I did.
She's just dressed as Peyton Royce.
She just got an outfit change. Like, I don't care. That's the thing. I mentioned this on Twitter last night that if I can't get excited for your matches, then I cannot get invested in you as a wrestler. And that goes for like, Carmella or the Iconics or whoever, but also like for someone like Bray Wyatt right now, where I just I can't possibly care about your match. So why do I care about your storyline?
I think that's fine though. Yeah, I mean they just spend time hyping the new character and then they immediately ruin it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic there. I mean, you've actually separated genuinely two best friends for no reason, and they had as much as Billy Kay is not a good wrestler, they had a great character, they had a great tag team, and it doesn't make any sense to change that.
Kenta has grabbed his briefcase. His absolutely
made out of wood.
Yep. He broke it over Tanahashi's back recently, and he was very distraught about it.
Saw that coming.
So we've got a few more. There's a few people saying we need Tempest merch. I mean, hey, you tweet the people in charge of this company, and we'll see what we can do. You got to let them know that you want it. Don't tell me.
Well,
I know it.
People have been asking for my merch for a while now, and that hasn't happened. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't get your hopes up, everyone.
Yeah. Carol asks, what is the most unexpected thing you ever popped for? I don't know what I would say. I guess I kind of expected Edge to come back last year just because we reported it like 100 times since
No, but he denied it.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? The only one that really sticks out to me is when the Dudley boys came back in 2015. Because I knew nothing about that. I did not know they were coming back at all. And I was like, oh my God, it's the Dudley boys. And then they proceeded to do nothing for a year.
I don't think that was particularly widely reported, so.
No. I popped when Matt Seidel came out at All Out this year.
Yeah.
Again, not the most unexpected or whatever, but I mean that was one of them. I popped big when Hangman Page came out on a horse, both at All Out last year and at the Stadium Stampede, just because wrestlers on horses is fun. And I think that kind of thing is just like that's why I watch wrestling. Let's see. Christopher Jazzcat agrees about Cody and Dustin. He says the build was excellent, but the match itself was uncomfortable. He just wanted it to be over. But now you can go back and watch it and know that no one actually got hurt. And he also says that Jim Ross is the worst. He actively takes away from the matches. That is an opinion, one that I do not agree with, but again, to each their own.
Christopher Jazzcat does do that. He does have opinions that people don't agree with, like he thinks that Zack Sabre Jr. is a good wrestler. Oh, there we go. I don't like Zack Sabre Jr. Everyone loves him.
That's actually a very good one. Decker Red wants to know what is the best title ever. I'm guessing he means design-wise. I would probably say the Winged Eagle WWF title.
That or the 24/7 Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Winged Eagle, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is great. Big gold.
Yeah.
Good. And it's basically nothing modern.
To an extent. I think most of
there's nothing wrong with the AEW like heavyweight championship belt, but it does just look like it looks like a slightly worse IWGP one.
I think most of the NXT UK belts are all very good.
That's true. Forgot about those. But also, and I do like the North American. I just mean main roster WWE, really. Yeah. And I don't quite get the idea behind the women's belt in AEW being like looking like a kind of looking like a sort of bottle cap compared to the men's belt. It is tiny. It's literally like carrying around an actual trousers like belt to keep your pants up.
I also really like the IWGP Intercontinental title because it looks like the heavyweight title, but the strap is white.
Yeah.
It looks very pretty. And Valib says, excuse him, but the best SmackDown match of all time is Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar 60-minute Iron Man match. I mean, if you said that, I wouldn't disagree with you. That match is fantastic as well. Let us see. Oh, goodness. People having conversations about Kevin Steen and Ring of Honor. Very good stuff. John Ring says Eddie's, I'm guessing this is Eddie Kingston, has been pulling this level of promo for over a decade now, whether it's in 30 people in the gym or 1 million on TV. Very true. I mean, I saw a ton of his stuff with Chikara, and he's always been a fantastic promo. And people saying we broke kayfabe talking, saying nice things about Sean Ross Sapp, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you have to. Boo, Fightful, boo. Christopher Jazzcat says Nakamura was incredible. Now he's a generic foreign heel. Yes, WWE is not known for their success in recent years with foreign stars. Flame Inc. has gone to bed. That was a little over 10 minutes ago. So good night, Flame Inc. Plot Twist Jones doesn't like Seth Rollins or Sasha Banks. I don't like Seth Rollins the person, but Seth Rollins the wrestler is very talented. It's like if I just never saw any of his tweets ever again, maybe I wouldn't have too much of a problem with him. Shardul Shankar does not like Edge. Well, you, sir, have come to the wrong person. As someone with an Edge tattoo, I cannot approve of that opinion. Christopher Jazzcat says that Punk used to keep his gear in the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's true. It's true. I have heard that. He would take his gear and go because you have to travel with it. Like it has to be part of your like carry-on luggage.
Does he mean gear as in wrestling gear or gear as in drugs?
Oh well, CM Punk is known for doing all of those drugs. After all,
exactly. That was his gimmick, I think.
Oh yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yes.
Let's see. Christopher Jazzcat again says, Ollie completely no-sold me saying I rewatched Omega versus Penta. Still don't think it was on the same level as Omega's chemistry with guys like Ibushi, Okada, Ishii, etc. Well, I don't think it's on the same level as those three guys, but those are three like the absolute best in the world. I mean, but I do think that their match, both at All In and on Dynamite recently, were very good. Christopher Jesscat says, are we going to get any Rondi Fleshlight merch? Might have to wait a while for that one.
It's in the works. I've done the mold.
Oh, yes. Oh, dear.
So keep an eye on WrestleTalk.
Oh, yeah.
WrestleTalk Merkin for that. So Kenta's currently on top. He's been on top for the majority of the match since he bonked Tanahashi on the head with the briefcase.
Just trying to get absolutely caught up. I'm almost there. Decker Red wants to know best mask in all of wrestling besides Tempest, of course. Those are his words, not mine, of course. Jushin Thunder Liger.
It's certainly the most unique. But people who haven't retired yet, I do like Penta's mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually quite spooky. Oh, look, the ref got bumped.
Sure did.
The ref's dead. That's it. Game match over. Ref is dead.
Kenta doesn't have a second.
I think it might be El Gran Gordo.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kenta's got his broken briefcase.
Made out of MDF.
Yeah. Oh. Come on, Tana. He blocks the briefcase shot, and they're fighting over it. The referee's now back in the ring. He's telling them to stop.
Oh.
Yep. Tanahashi's blaming Kenta getting shoved down on the referee.
Oh, they got each other in the middle of the ring.
A double down spot.
Man, it's nice to see Kenta having matches.
Yeah. It's crazy. He sure could do that. Ben Priest wants to know if there is any chance of either of us competing on Quizlemania anytime soon.
I think it's more likely that you will. I'm sure I will do in the near future, but we've got a few things lined up first. Yeah, don't be surprised to see Tempest jump from the fact checker's chair to the the quizer's chair. And I imagine I'll be asked to be the fact checker then, because obviously I am so knowledgeable.
Oh, so knowledgeable. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It all depends on how plans come together. If somebody becomes available last minute, obviously it's a business and you have to think of it that way. I've let the people in charge know that I'm content to stay as the fact checker, but also would very much like to take the Quizlemania trophy as my own. So perhaps in the near future we will. Perhaps in the near future I'll get another shot at the gold.
Why is it that on those drooping DDTs that they slap their backs before they hit them? Is it just to let them know that it's coming?
It is to let them know that it's coming.
Okay.
Because you can knock someone out doing a DDT. So stuff like that is there's a lot of that sort of thing in wrestling. I'm really breaking kayfabe here, but as someone who's done some training and whatever, during most of the grappling and everything, they do something that's called an Iggy, which is
like Azalea.
Yeah. Like if you've got someone and you're doing grappling, if you have them in a wrist lock or something and you give them one of these, just like a double squeeze, it means you reverse and you take it.
Okay.
If you are in a hold and you do the double squeeze, it means stop hurting me.
Okay.
So those are the type of things that get worked into like reversing chain wrestling and that sort of thing, where you'll be doing something, squeeze, you take it, back and forth and back and forth. But for something on a DDT, obviously you have to alert them another way. But yeah. I
didn't know any of those things. Good God. That looked horrible.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Come on, Tana. Come on, Tana. This is the one where I'm rooting for someone. I want Tana to win this.
Corkscrew, sort of snap suplex.
Twist and shout.
Twist and shout. Twist and shout.
Come on, Tana. Oh, he hits another one. Come on, hang it on out.
Hang it on out. I think I'm ahead of you now.
It's possible.
Oh,
come on, Tana.
Oh, he tries for the guy to sleep again, but Tana hits a zigzag.
Supposedly his sling blade.
That was a zigzag. He learned it from Dolph Ziggler. That's why they've both got the same hair.
How dare you? Tanahashi's hair is much better than Dolph Ziggler's hair. There's a proper sling blade.
Here comes the
sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Here comes the sun, and I say,
it's all right. Ace is high. Come on, Tana. Come on, Tana. I'm feeling it. I want to see it. Oh, he's going for the cloverleaf. Come on. Submit him. I want this match. I want it bad. Come on. Tap out. Tap out, Kenta.
Tap oot.
Tap oot. Come on.
He's close enough to the ropes. Oh, no.
Come on, Tana.
Oh, dear.
Tap out.
It's the yes lock.
No. No. Come on, Tana. Fight out. Oh. Come on, Tana. It's interesting. Both Kenta and Miro call their submission moves game over.
But they are different moves.
They are. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's my insight.
Thank you. Truly irreplaceable. You are the glue to hold this stream together.
Thank you very much.
Tana's rolled out. He's got the clover leaf.
Almost.
He's trying to turn him over.
Oh, another reversal from Kenta. This is lovely stuff.
No. You better not tap out. Come on, Tana. Fight. I want this match. I want it really badly.
Oh. No. Oh, he's rolled into another one.
Come on, you're close to the ropes. You can do it.
Oh, wow. He's really pulling his neck now. Oh, he's it. That's it. He's given up.
No. Man. Why can't I get what I want? Give me what I want.
Why can't you get what you want? You can't always get what you want.
I wanted one thing out of this show, and it was for Tanahashi to win this goddamn match.
We still got 2 matches to go, haven't we?
We do. I wanted Tanahashi versus Moxley. I'm sad. I'm going to read some of these chats to make me feel better. The Mighty Corn wants to know, who do you think throws a better Superman punch, Orange Cassidy or Roman Reigns? Honestly, Roman Reigns. He has a nice Superman punch. Mike Dempsey wants to know, when will we see Jinder back? He shouldn't be hindered.
Who cares?
Listen, I don't wish injury on anyone. I don't want people to not be able to make money. But thank God we didn't get a stupid Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal feud. Drew McIntyre is so much better off having not had a feud with Jinder Mahal. I'm sorry, but Jinder Mahal sucks. And I know it's like a meme. It's like, oh, don't hinder Jinder. Oh, it's this great thing. No, sorry. Jinder Mahal sucks. He's the worst WWE champion ever. So, sorry. Went off on a tangent. John Ring says, Gentleman Jervis was a top-tier mask. That it was. Another Chikara original. Let's see. More people talking about having me on Quizlemania. Again, we'll see. I do appreciate the support. I will say that. I've made it clear to the people in charge that if they want to put me on, I'm happy to do it. I'm sure.
He's grabbed the brass ring.
I'm reaching for the brass ring. But I do appreciate the efforts of the fans, the people who follow us, subscribe to WrestleTalk. I do appreciate all of the effort that you guys have put in. It does not go unnoticed. I will say that. But I just lost it. Carol had a good question. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Carol wants to know where can she get back issues of WrestleTalk magazine? You would know better than I would.
I believe you can get them from WrestleTalk merch. Let's have a look. WrestleTalk.
Apparently, she cannot find one of them is not showing up or something of that nature.
Which one isn't? If you let me know which one isn't showing up, Carol.
Yes, send a message to Andy Datson.
Yeah, Carol, drop me a DM on Twitter, and I'm sure I can find where that is for you. Yes, no, I'm certain I can do that.
Yes, very good. Making people happy. Mike Dempsey wants you and I to team up on Quizlemania. We'll see.
No one wants to see that. I'm just so much more intelligent than you.
Yep. Hey, you've won the Quizlemania trophy. I haven't.
Yeah, but you know I won it when it was very non-trivia based.
Doesn't matter. You've got that title. You're on the wiki. Ben Priest.
I'm on the honors board.
Yep. Ben Priest says he wants me on the show, and he wants Andy now that he's grown the fur back on his head.
Yes, that is. I actually got another haircut the other day, so I've now fully. Although weirdly, and this is a bit worrying, they said that my hairdresser said, do you always have your hair longer on the sides than on the top? Because that's quite unusual. And I was like, no. Well, it is. And I said, oh. So then I looked it up, and that means that it's the sort of it's happening. It's the start. Because basically it's the blood that you get more hair on wherever the blood flow is going, and if there's not a lot of blood flow to the top of your head, that's when your hair stops growing as quickly. And I've got a giant head, so it's just the blood just probably can't reach the top, to be honest. I'm not losing my hair yet, but this might be the beginning of the end.
It's a frightening thought. I'm very sorry to hear it. Valve said,
yeah, because as we know, I look like an idiot when I'm bald, so it better not happen anytime soon.
Sure thing, Fishbowl. Valve says Adam is a coward if he doesn't book Tempest. Let's not say things that aren't nice. But I will beat whoever stands in front of me and getting that trophy, given the right time and place. Decker Red says he wants. See, here's the problem. Decker Red says he wants me to win and get a title shot at the championship. I am not that good at predictions because most of the time it's WWE and they don't know how to predict their own shows. They're written 45 minutes beforehand. So I'm just like, oh, I can't use logic. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm starting to lose my voice on this one. I don't know why. Oh, but let's see.
I can play go if you want.
Tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
If you tell me what you're up to, I can start reading questions.
No, it's no big deal. Mike Dempsey asks, can anyone date the last time Samoa Joe used his muscle buster, and why did he stop using it? I don't know. It was in NXT,
wasn't it?
I would think so, yeah.
Didn't he break someone? Didn't he hurt someone? Didn't he hurt Kenta?
I don't think he hurt Kenta. Their paths never really crossed in NXT. He broke Tyson Kidd's neck using the muscle buster.
That's the one. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I thought it was Kenta.
Yeah, I don't know that that's the reason he stopped using it, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's also just like not a move that a lot of big guys want to take.
Well, okay. Well, this is Tyson ended up with a broken neck that drastically changed the course of his career. Joe, who was in NXT at the time and appearing on Raw in a dark match setting, had to wait in developmental for a bit longer after that match as well, and the muscle buster was pulled from his moveset.
Yeah, because he still used the muscle buster after that, though. Like I know he beat Balor in the cage match at NXT TakeOver the End with the muscle buster off the top rope.
He's only allowed to use it on people who are really talented and therefore able to take it. Maybe. I'm not saying the Tyson Kidd's not talented, by the way. He just got very unlucky.
He did get unlucky. But yeah, Ben Priest, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are people for Full Gear? Personally, I would probably say like a 9. Like I'm really excited for this show. The only way it would be a 10 is if there were like fans and everything. You know, like it's hard for anything to really hit the 10, but I'm very much looking forward to this show. Christopher Jazzcat says, thanks for peeling back the chain wrestling curtain, Tempest. Big fan of chain wrestling. Absolutely. Anytime I can put any of the knowledge that I've gained from my limited training in wrestling so far to good use, I always enjoy doing it. The Mighty Mighty Corn says Hangman Page is hands down my favorite in AEW right now. I knew the team would break up eventually, but I loved Page and Omega as a team. I totally agree on all parts. Hangman Page, every time I see him, I think he's just about like the complete package as a wrestler. I love him. I don't like my favorite wrestler changes depending on who I'm watching in that exact moment, but he's always like right there near the top. And as far as like a tag team, the Page and Omega dynamic the whole way through, that's like my favorite storyline that they've done in wrestling. As far as like a week-to-week storyline, like I probably like Naito's storyline and the Golden Lover storyline more as like a overarching year storyline. But as far as like week-to-week progression, I don't think I've ever seen anything better than Page and Omega. And Christopher Jazzcat asks, what is our favorite wrestling angle of all time?
Oh, Kurt.
You know, I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
That was good. Oh, I don't know. There've been like a lot of really great ones. I really loved the Festival of Friendship where Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho broke up. Like, I don't know if that's number one, like absolutely number one, but I loved that segment. As far as just like an angle to progress a storyline and do everything, like I loved that segment. Like the CM Punk pipe bomb was great. I mean, if you're just talking about like, because like an angle is supposed to be something where the story takes a turn, you know, like that's what the angle is for. Like it goes on an angle and it goes a different direction. So, I mean, that is an example of that. Whereas like, if you're just talking about like great segments, like the Austin McMahon bedpan incident has to be up there. Just about all the Austin McMahon stuff. God, I can't. That was a weird noise. Yeah, stuff like that. I'll say the Festival of Friendship just because nothing else comes to mind.
Hey, do you reckon there's going to be an interference in this match?
Probably, yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Minhaj Ayat says, has the briefcase ever changed hands in New Japan? No. The G1 Climax winner has never lost their championship briefcase. At least in like the last 8 years since they started giving them the Wrestle Kingdom title shot. It's never happened. But no. And no. Says, do you think Warhorse will ever be back in AEW? I found him via the Open Challenge. I think he is a super neat character, but thought his match with Cody fell a bit flat. I agree. He's a guy that has gotten himself over with his character and everything on the internet, but he's still a bit green, you know? Like, you get a bunch of these guys that are really seasoned, like Ricky Starks and obviously Eddie Kingston, where it's like, these are not indie guys. They're just guys that didn't happen to be signed. Whereas when I see Warhorse, I'm like, this is an indie guy. He's not ready for prime time, but give him the appropriate amount of time to progress and get more experience, and I think he will get there.
Neat is a word that doesn't really translate. Obviously, it's a word in English, but it doesn't sort of mean really good. It just means things are in their correct position. Like, oh, that's neat. Mm-hmm. As in, like, your desk is well organized. You've got a neat desk. Or neat as in someone has nice handwriting. You would say, oh, that's very neat.
Indeed.
I don't know. Like, it's not really a word that we wouldn't go. If someone did something good, we wouldn't go, oh, man, that was neat.
That was neat. I'm just going to start saying that just to bother you.
Neat. It's not a very nice word. Neat.
Neat.
It's the sound. It's the noise a mosquito would make if it could talk.
Interesting. Neat. Hadn't thought of it that way, but now I will. Ben Priest says the main thing I dislike about AEW is Colt Cabana. Huh?
Oh, the
Colt
main
Cabana
thing
fans.
I like Colt Cabana. I think he's funny.
Yeah. He is cool. What else we got here? Oh goodness. Yes, Jay is back in red. Plot twist Jones. Oh Lord. You know what? I'm not gonna read that one.
Why?
I don't think it's appropriate.
I'm gonna have a look at it. What it was, and then I'll judge for myself.
I don't know that he means it that way, but just Oh, okay. I see what he means. He's asking if we went on a road trip with one of these three guys, who would it be? Vince Russo, Matt Riddle, or Hulk Hogan? Because they all say bro or brother.
Right. Who would I want to go?
I would probably still go with Matt Riddle, because Hulk Hogan said racist things, and so did Vince Russo. Last I checked, Matt Riddle's not a racist, so that points on that.
It depends how long. Can the road trip be like from my house to the end of the road?
I don't know that that's a road trip, but we'll say sure.
In which case, I would just pick Vince Russo so I could just berate him for about a minute.
I don't want anything to do with Vince Russo, honestly. If I never meet or have a conversation with
my name once.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He had to think about it, but he did. I do recall. Oh Lord.
What?
Like the less I hear of that man's name, the better.
Yes.
It just puts me in a mood. Christopher Jazzcat says Hangman's character is excellent. He hasn't had that breakout singles match. Maybe he will have that tomorrow. Entirely possible. I thought his match with Pac last year at Full Gear, maybe not like a breakout match, but that's probably his best singles match since AEW began. Maybe his best singles match ever. I don't know. I've probably seen most of his best singles matches. It would be up there. Valub says Jericho versus Kevin Owens should have main evented WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title. Well, that was the original plan, and judging by the way everything kind of went, I agree that's how it should have went. I think it is a crime that Chris Jericho did not win the Royal Rumble in 2017.
It's how it should have gone, not how it should have went.
Whatever.
Speak English, mate.
Who speaks English?
It's clearly not you.
Clearly not. The Mighty Mighty Corn says, how do you feel Team Taz and the how do we feel about Team Taz and the FTW title? I think all performers are great, but I feel like they're going nowhere as a faction. I'm not sold on the FTW belt either. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of unnecessary,
Yeah, like, I guess it gives a bit of prestige, but they haven't really done anything with it that makes me interested yet. Like, I'll give them time because they do make me interested in things, that company.
Yeah. Like, again, it's tough because you have to fit so much onto a 2-hour show, and they have a lot of talent to do that with. But I don't know. I like them as a group, and I'm willing to wait and see where things go. Something's going to happen on at Full Gear, so I'm gonna wait and see. Mike Dempsey says Festival of Friendship was the best. Austin and Booker was fun. I'm gonna guess you mean the Supermarket Brawl, which is another favorite segment of mine. One of the bright spots of the invasion for sure. And Deca Red wants to know what hobbies we have outside of wrestling/work.
Well, since lockdown, I've been doing a lot of sitting in a chair and staring into space.
Yeah,
I like gaming. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone lately with my flatmate and some of his friends. I enjoy playing several sports, although at the moment we can't do that because it's lockdown. My football season has come to an abrupt end. Well, not end, but we're having an intermission, should we say?
Hey,
I like going. I like traveling. I like walking. I feel like this is a Tinder bio now.
Sell yourself, Andy.
I'll more on the walking thing to come soon. But I hope you're feeling charitable, everyone. What about you, Tempest? What do you like doing?
Well, it's tough. Like I'm a big film buff. I like watching movies. I like reading comic books.
What a loser!
I know, right? It's crazy. I mean, for a while I was going to the gym pretty regularly until lockdown made that impossible. And of course, training to wrestle, which I guess can't be included in these sort of things, but it basically was all I was doing for a while there. But otherwise, I mean, I play guitar. Still fighting on the floor there. Play guitar, read comic books, watch movies. I mean, hang out with friends, obviously. But
friends, what's that?
I know you wouldn't think it. Oh goodness, it's tough. I mean, I went to a lot of like sporting events and everything back before when I could. It's like I was a big fan of like baseball, basketball. Do a lot of fantasy sports, which everybody loves hearing about. I've found. It's been so long since I could have a hobby. I can't even think about it. Literally,
I picked up a lot of different hobbies during lockdown, but I don't do any of them anymore.
Yeah, I was running for a long time in lockdown. It's gotten a bit colder, so I haven't been doing it as much.
I can't run.
Neither could I, but then I started doing it, and
I can run brief periods, but because of a shoulder injury, it makes it very painful to run for more than like 500 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Because the muscle when I run gets pulled from my sort of neck downwards, and it makes it pretty agonizing.
Yeah.
To run, which is why all the sports I play are very explosive and kind of short bursts of energy rather than long distance running.
Ibushi botched a move there. He was supposed to miss a moonsault off the second rope, but he accidentally hit it. So both guys are now selling. Mike Dempsey wants to know what my favorite bad movie is. I mean, there's a bunch. If I can watch a bad movie and still have fun, those are typically like my favorite. So like even something like Spider-Man 3, I have a lot of fun with just because it's hilarious. But otherwise, I mean, The Room is always great. Was it Troll 2? It's hilarious. Like, all those Batman and Robin is a horrible movie. But it's you just watch it and drink and laugh at it with friends. So it can be a good time. It's just like when bad movies are just bad and no fun. It's just not good. It's just not good. The Mighty Corn says, I'm totally down to give AEW benefit of the doubt. I got into wrestling via Stephen Amell versus Stardust, so I've been with Cody since the beginning. Well, that's not the beginning. It's the beginning for you, so I'll give it to you. I'm just glad to have a show that isn't frustrating. You and me both, Mighty Corn. Let's see. Eddie Carter says, sadly going to have to tap out as you have to go to work. Love the stuff and hope Full Gear is good for everyone. Take care. Have a nice day at work, Eddie. Mighty Corn asks, do I have any favorite current comics? He's currently reading Deceased and Strange Adventures at the moment. I don't like. I'm not reading a ton of things like week to week. I'll typically wait for a run to be over, and then like read the whole thing as like a graphic novel if it gets released. So I'm currently reading Jeff John's Shazam comic because I've really fallen in love with Shazam of late, and it was really, really good stuff. Otherwise, like, I don't know, there's a bunch of different stories that I love. Jeff John's Aquaman is really up there because I love Aquaman. I'm like I wouldn't say one of the only people, but my friends know me as like the Aquaman guy. You know.
Wow, that's really cool.
that's a good thing to be known for, of course.
I've never really read comics. My girlfriend reads graphic novels sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess those are like sort of comic-y, but as you know, they're not the same thing. But yeah, it's never really been, oh, why do you always land on your neck, Kota?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
That was horrid.
That was a bad German suplex. I'm terrified now. Deca Red says, by the way, Tempest, have you ever explained the history behind the Blue Eyes White Dragon card on your wall? I think I did in a tweet earlier today, honestly. It's not much of history, honestly. I don't remember where exactly I got it, but it came as part of like a big pack or something of cards that I got. Just like, I'm not really like into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards that much. But when I will go out, we have like the Canadian National Exhibition every summer comes around. It's like a big fair. And so there'll be stalls of people setting up and selling arts and crafts and hobbies and that sort of thing. So one of the things that one of the stalls sells is a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And so like it's a once a year deal where I will spend like $20 to have a nostalgia trip, and just like check out all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And one of them came with a big old Blue Eyes White Dragon card. So when I was setting up my set here in order to have something to look at, I just said, you know what? Why not? Stuck it to my wall, and there it is. Let's see. OG just says Tempest and then Tempest. What's up, OG?
No, he got you.
He got me. Haha. Christopher Jazzcat says, tell us about your guitars. I play a 1935 Epiphone Spartan with a Gill Guitar Chief pickup. If people aren't familiar with guitars, this is just another language. With a Rivera Jazz Suprema 50-watt, driving a 1x15 open back cab with a Jens. This is so much stuff. Right now, I've got a Fender Stratocaster. It's kind of my go-to, aside from a couple of acoustic guitars around. I don't really like.
You're lucky that my dad plays, because I do actually know what you're talking about. I think my dad has close to 20 guitars at this point.
Yeah, my best friend does it as well. I don't have like a big collection or whatever, just because I've had other things to spend my money on.
He's got a recording studio in the garden, and it's just full of guitar. Like, he's got every single guitar you can think of as well. Like, he's even got like a lap steel guitar, and he's got like mandolins and all the kind of variants. He's got kind of custom built, handmade, very expensive sort of the Gibson Les Pauls and things.
Yeah, I would love like a nice Les Paul guitar, stuff like that. Like,
see, when you say Les, because over here it's Les, but over there it seems to be less.
Well, I mean, it's just how I speak.
You idiot.
Yes, of course. Big shoulder block to avoid a Kamigoye from Jay White there.
Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, did you ever play the Pokemon trading card game? Because there was a Game Boy. There was a Game Boy game
Yeah,
for the Pokemon trading card game, which was absolutely fantastic.
I did play that. I tried to play the Pokemon trading card game. It was just like a little, I don't know, too complicated for me. Like I tried to play with my sister, but we just kind of got bored of it. I did prefer playing Yu-Gi-Oh as a card game over Pokemon, but I did have cards and such. I was going to give all of my Pokemon cards to my nephew, but lockdown happened and I haven't seen him since. So it's a shame. Before we get too far removed from some of these chats, Valve says his favorite bad movie is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's a good choice. Minhaj says, what did you guys like better, Avengers Endgame or Joker? Do not make me choose between those two. Because I spent probably the last 45 minutes of Avengers Endgame just weeping. But I thought Joker was just about a masterpiece. Oh, Gato got involved. Jay White goes for the Blade Runner. And now Coda hits a V trigger. Jay White going for a backslide. Oh, he's got his feet on the ropes. Jay White won!
Oh. So it's Jay White.
What?
God, these refs suck, don't they?
Jay White won. Jay White's moving to the Tokyo Dome.
You're taking this well.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What in the world? Well, I just saw a chat in the deal here that says, do you guys think any surprises are going to happen? I was going to say no. There it is. How's it going, Tempest and Andy? I would like to ask, do you guys think a surprise will happen? I didn't, but it just did. What in the world? Oh my God.
This is almost as shocking as the Miz beating Otis for his briefcase.
Almost. Wow. Well, Naito against Jay White at the Tokyo Dome, I guess. Sucks to be Kota Ibushi. Damn. And like they don't have another big show between now and Wrestle Kingdom to like have another match because he had this feet on the ropes. Well, that is straight shocking. That is not something that I expected to see. Mike Dempsey, no, he did not. Wow.
Huh.
You know, my tag team partner, his favorite wrestler in the world is Kota Ibushi. If he's watching this, he's probably having a meltdown. I'm gonna text him real quick. Wow. Well, you know, during the G1, I said that I thought Ibushi would face Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome, and it didn't look like it was going to happen, but maybe now it will. I can't believe that. That's nuts.
That is nuts, bro.
Little do we know, Evil's about to win the friggin' titles. And they're going to do Jay White against Evil for the title to Wrestle Kingdom. Oh God. Oh. I guess we'll just go back to some of these chats for now as I try and comprehend what I just saw. Ben Priest wants to know dream commentary lineup of the last 20 years. I really like give me like a Kevin Kelly and Tony Schiavone duo. I think they would just be phenomenal. You know what? No, just screw it. Kevin Kelly and Don Callis is the best commentary duo I've ever heard. So just give me that one again.
Matt Stryker and Renee Young.
I hate Matt Stryker on commentary. Decker Red also, I guess, wanted to know how far along did I get in the Yu-Gi-Oh show? I mean, I watched all of the original Yu-Gi-Oh, like the English dub. I know it's not the best, but I watched all of the English dub of the original series. I watched, I think, like the first 2 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh GX, and then nothing else after that. And I've tried to go back and watch Yu-Gi-Oh GX, but I just can't deal with Jaden being like, oh, sweet. Oh, I'm going to throw down a face down. I'm like, oh, my God.
You who know things like this, was Pokemon a card game or a show first? Or a game?
It was a game first. I think, I could be wrong. I think technically there was like a manga involved that would have either come first or was loosely based on or something like that. But it would go like either manga, game, show, or...
Okay, no, so the franchise began as Pokemon Red and Green, later released outside Japan as Pokemon Red and Blue, a pair of video games for the original Game Boy handheld system. In 96, it soon became a media mix franchise, adapted into various media.
Yeah, so there you go. Game first. Well, that's just baffling. Christopher Jazzcat is in shock. Me too, man. Gotcha Teens wants to know when your punishment video is coming out.
As soon as we can, really. Basically, we need to make a karaoke version of the song because otherwise we get copyright striked. And the person who was originally going to make it can no longer do that, so we've now had to find someone else to do it. So as soon as they've finished making the backing track, I will then record it, and that's when it'll be. I cannot promise when it'll be, but it should be done by the end of the year, comfortably. I would hope.
Yeah,
it's going to be mortifying, but worth it. Apparently, maybe.
We'll see. We'll judge that after. Decker Red says, Andy asking a lot. I mean, who knows how to play Pokemon?
I do. Pete does.
Yeah.
I used to have a lot of Pokemon cards, but I've always been more of a Pokemon game player, I have to say. I've watched the sort of the original Indigo League series and stuff like that, and there was a period where I was watching all the black and white series. But
I watched the show until they changed the voice actors, and then I was just kind of like, "Aw, I'm not having fun anymore."
My dad still says that the worst movie he's ever watched was the first Pokemon movie.
Well, he hasn't seen enough movies then, because that movie's fantastic.
He took me to the cinema to see it, and he was just like, because he doesn't really like, he was just being a dad, so therefore taking his child to see what he wanted to see. But when all the Pokemon start crying and resurrect Ash, I think he basically had an aneurysm.
Yeah. Well, that's cinematic art right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Dat King says, I was going to say Brody Lee debut, but nope, that's way more shocking. No, that would have been shocking too. But yeah, there's a few people saying triple threat at the Dome. Yeah, they don't really do that. They don't really do triple threat matches. So I don't think so. Mike Dempsey says his fantasy booking is Coda after the loss starts drinking, meets Hangman, and becomes the Golden Brothers. It's interesting.
Nice.
More people saying triple threat. Again, I don't think it's all that likely, but you never know. Carol is a big Pokemon Go fan.
I used to play that quite a bit, but it sort of lost its charm for me because it evolved going outside.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't really that. No, I think I just got because I've always been more of a Generation 1 and Generation 2 fan. So when they started bringing in the kind of later generations, I just wasn't that interested.
Agreed.
So I caught the vast majority of the first couple of generations, but
yeah,
I think I still have the app somewhere. But
somewhere.
No, I don't. No, I must have deleted it.
Oh goodness. But let's see. Val thinks Evil is just going to make everything worse. I will honestly, Evil versus Jay White. I've heard crazier things. Dat King also stopped when the actors were changed. And Decker Red says he would highly recommend watching the original Japanese version of GX, and the other spin-offs for kids do not do the original justice. Judai is more tolerable. Yeah, like, I am well aware that, like, the subbed version of different animes are vastly superior to the dub versions. But when I, like, for the most part, when I watch television, I like to put it on and do something else, whether it's work or, like, play a game on my Switch or something like that. But if I have to be reading subtitles the entire time, I can't do that. So I'm less likely to do it unless I'm really invested in it. Like, I will go and watch, like, foreign movies and things like that, but I have to really want to in order to sit myself down and really watch it. It's the same reason that I haven't, like, finished watching the Watchmen show, because you really have to, like, sit and watch that show. Like, you can't be doing something else just because it's so heavy and thick with content. So it's just like it's difficult.
Yeah, do you know The Boys on Amazon Prime?
I've been meaning to get around to watching that. I have not seen it, but
I won't spoil anything. But, like, it's a really heavy. Like, it's so heavy on details and things that you, like, girlfriend will be like, "Should we watch it?" And then we'll both look at each other and go, "Yeah, not right now." I'm a bit tired, so I might miss something.
Don't mean to interrupt you. Mega Goal has an excellent suggestion. The match is Coda and Jay on night 1 at the Tokyo Dome, and then the winner faces Naito on night 2. Because there's 2 nights at the Tokyo Dome. Honestly, I think that is entirely possible. That is the best suggestion I have heard so far. That, or just like you do Jay White versus Naito night 1, and then the winner against Coda night 2. Like, you make use of the night 1, night 2 thing. Let's see. Gotcha Teens asks, have I seen Naruto? I've seen, I think, the first 2. No, it's been more than that. Like, the first 5 seasons of Naruto or something like that. I was watching it during quarantine, and I fell off and just started doing other things, but I'll get back to it.
I really don't watch a lot of anime or manga or hentai or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
I watched Totoro with
I love
my girlfriend, and I appreciate the art, but it was really weird.
Well, all the Studio Ghibli movies are weird.
I've seen Spirited Away when I was younger, but I cannot remember anything that happens in it.
That's so weird because I was the exact same way. I watched Spirited Away like for the first time properly during quarantine, and it was like a fever dream because there were moments in that movie that I absolutely 100% remembered. Like clear as day, absolutely saw it when I was a kid, but I remembered nothing about, like, I didn't know any of the character names. I didn't remember anything about the plot, nothing. Love the movie though.
Yeah, I genuinely can't remember anything from it. Are there like some giant bugs in it?
What, in Spirited Away?
Yeah, or I made that up.
I don't think there are giant bugs in it.
Yeah, well, in that case, I made it up. Maybe I remember the dragon, or maybe I just remember pictures of the dragon.
Yeah, all possible.
Either way, yeah, I've watched Pokemon, and I think I used to have a Digimon cassette, what's it called? VCR tape.
Mm-hmm. Cassette would also work, I guess.
Yeah. I used to like it because there was one called Andromon, and I was like, that's close to my name.
Mm-hmm. Andymon.
Digimon monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, is it still a thing? Digimon?
I mean,
it only had one season.
Yeah. It's like everyone just remembers that intro. Robert Jimenez says, watch 4Kids just for Chaz It Up. Sub is inferior just because of the lack of chazzing it up. It's more Yu-Gi-Oh! GX stuff for those who are unaware. Let's see. Christopher Jazzcat says he doesn't know if he's going to make it through an evil match because he is tired. You can stay up. I don't know where you live, but it's only whatever o'clock that is.
Man, Digimon really was a rip-off, wasn't it?
Carol wants to say, Andy, did you know that Niantic, the Pokemon Go company, put out a Harry Potter version of Pokemon Go called Wizards Unite? It's better than Pokemon Go, and you can be a wizard and cast spells.
I did. I played it for about 5 minutes and got bored. I'm a
Sorry,
big Harry
Carol.
Potter fan. Like, no shade, no offense to anyone who likes the game, but it wasn't for me. It was too much work. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I mean, give me a Harry Potter quiz, and I will know all the answers. But I'm not that bothered about the extended kind of. I don't really care about the Fantastic Beasts films. I've seen them, but I've only seen them once, and I didn't think they were that great. And I don't really read all the kind of extra lore on Pottermore. But in terms of actual just films and book series, the original book series, I doubt there are many people in the world who have read them more or know more about them.
I agree. His knowledge is stellar. Big Mike comes in with a $2 super chat saying, can you recap the Jay White finish? To the best of my ability. I mean, Kota Ibushi hit a V-trigger, was going for a series of knees and such, went for the Kamigoye, and they kind of, did the deal where they maintained wrist control, but wrestled around and got control over the others using leverage. Jay White hit a backslide, put his feet on the ropes, and got the pin. That's basically it. And then Kota Ibushi looked very sad as Jay White walked away with his briefcase.
He did.
Mike Dempsey said with a $2 super chat says, "Muscle Man dance?" ?
God, that's an old one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm afraid we're not legally allowed to do that. Only Ollie's allowed to do that.
Yeah, we'll get sued. Can't copyright infringe, which is something other people on this channel need to take into account. It's not cool to steal other people's gimmicks. Lewis Danger.
What's he stealing?
He's trying to use his dog to get over.
All right.
Little does he know it won't work. Ryan.
I thought that was his girlfriend. Wait, he hasn't got one.
Ryan Wooldridge asks, "Who is your?" Well, it says what, but he said he means who. Who is your favorite WWE wrestler? While you're thinking about it, Louis keeps thinking that this is a work and that I'm playing a rib, but genuinely, I think right now mine is Roman Reigns. It's like I have been a big fan of everything that Roman Reigns has done since returning. He's just been fantastic. I absolutely loved him. Edge is like my favorite wrestler of all time, but he's not there right now. Jeff Hardy is also up there. And then if you count NXT people, there's too many to count. Johnny Gargano, although he said some things on Twitter today I was not a fan of. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, what did he say?
He just called Sean Ross Sapp out for doing clickbait on a article that was very clearly not clickbait. And I didn't appreciate that. So my tattoo is very itchy right now.
Oh, when did you get it colored in?
Sunday.
Show me. Oh, yeah. Oh, you bits of it.
Well, yeah. I've only got up to here done so far, but it's a process.
Oh, looks pretty good so far.
Yep. And I went and got this little sucker done the next day on the other arm. So that's fun. He's not even looking because he doesn't care. He's too busy doing something else. Andy, look at me. Andy, this.
It's a flying owl.
It's a strawberry. Close enough.
Oh.
Dick Togo has laid out Tetsuya Naito. You had to know that was coming. The referee's just doing something else. Baffling. Just baffling. Mike Dempsey says strong person boogie as opposed to muscle dance. Oh, goodness. Dad King with the fantasy booking for Wrestle Kingdom 15 big matches. I'm going to try and get this right. He didn't exactly use punctuation or anything, but he says Naito White, Naito Sonata, Ospreay Okada, and something else. Well, we're seeing at least Ospreay and Okada. That's for sure. As Evil now has Naito in a half crab.
I hope that every match gets interfered in by the Great Okan.
Don't say that. That's not very nice. Christopher Jazzcat says Brock Lesnar for favorite WWE wrestler. Brock Lesnar's very good. Let's see here. Gotcha Teen says Pokemon Fact Ditto is most likely a failed attempt at cloning Mew. It's true. I've heard that as well. Ben Priest, the phrase head of the table has been used a bit too much. Well, you know that WWE likes to hit their phrases and everything home really hard. Let's see. God, this take is so hot I can't even say it. Val about the hot take saying Christian Cage is the greatest NWA World's Heavyweight Champion / TNA champion. Well, if you said I would still disagree. I don't even know who the greatest TNA champion of all time is because it's TNA. But if you were including all the NWA World's Heavyweight Champions ever in that list, then he is very much not. Because that has to go somewhere in the range of like Ric Flair, Harley Race, Luthez, etc.
Yes, Nick Aldis.
If you're only counting TNA, yes, and Nick Aldis. You know, Nick Aldis is like I wouldn't put him in the absolute top tier, but he's up there. He deserves his place.
And he's married to Mickie James.
Yeah, sure is. But if it's just TNA champions, then I don't know. Sure, whatever. TNA champions are TNA champions. Carol says, my face keeps merging with Ollie's and it's too funny here at almost 6 a.m. Yeah, every once in a while I look up and my face is just kind of like in Ollie on the screen and I have to keep moving. But yes.
I wish I could do that, but if I do that, I just go away.
What's wrong with that? Dat King says, I said the junior heavyweight should also be a multi-man match. I would say Ishimori, Wato, Hiromu, and Eagles. Interesting. I think Ishimori might defend the title either against Hiromu or Sho.
Or the Great Okan.
Last I checked, he's not a junior.
Oh, no. What a shame.
Shucks. Christopher Jazzcat, not a fan of Nick Aldis.
Fair enough. Do what you want. Do what you want.
I think Nick Aldis is brilliant. I'm a big fan. I think he carries himself like a true star and world champion.
He also used to be on Gladiators.
He also used to be in TNA.
I think he was called Oblivion in Gladiator. Or have I completely made that up?
I have no idea.
Oblivion Gladiator.
Mike Dempsey says, okay, with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mike Dempsey. Says, okay, if Coda and Paige, and he's spelled Paige as in like the WWE women's wrestler Paige, team up, but I'm presuming he means Hangman. He says, who would be Omega's partner? I'm thinking MJF. If this is like a dream scenario where you've got Omega's two partners teaming up to take him on, God, I don't even know at that point. He doesn't have like any other solo,
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, sure. As good an answer as I can come up with. I might order McDonald's, honestly. I'm hungry. I need some breakfast. Oh, Evil swings the chair, hits the home run with the other chair. And it's going. Valum says, he's Aldis and more. I made a similar joke on Twitter like a year ago and was chastised for it.
That's because you suck. That's because you haven't got natural comedic timing like me.
Oh, yeah. Carol says she has a case of the giggles. Well, it's early. It's 6 a.m. Valum says, well, whatever. Valve says Nakazawa. That is, I mean, you're right, but I don't want to see it. And Carol says, just no KFC, Tempest. McDonald's is okay. Yeah, don't worry. I'm well aware that KFC sucks. KFC is just not good.
To each their own.
It's dry. Well, I don't know what it's like over in the UK, to be fair. Perhaps when I finally take the trip after everything is done.
I like it.
I will try it and maybe it'll be different. But here it is entirely dry and bland chicken. Like, aside from being actually genuinely poisoned by Popeyes one time and not eating it since, prior to that, I was a big fan of Popeyes. Like, Popeyes chicken was very good and tasty and succulent. But they tried to kill me, so.
A lot of people seem to like Chick-fil-A, or they did until...
Yeah. Until it came out that they were terrible people.
Or well, at least a couple of them were, anyway.
Yeah. Naito has hit a big tornado DDT on Evil, and they're both selling. Christopher Jazzcat says Nando's is better. Again, I wouldn't know.
Nando's is for my flatmate is a big fan of Nando's.
Cheeky Nando's. So all these things we could have done if I had gone to the UK.
I know.
Could have gone for some cheeky Nando's.
Again, like Nando's is good, but I really don't understand the obsession some people have with it. It's like it's just a bit of chicken with some nice sauce on it.
Naito just got whipped into the exposed turnbuckle and got hit with a backbreaker over Evil's knee. Carol has asked where I am. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. For better or worse.
Toronto.
Yes, when you're talking to people that aren't from here, you have to enunciate everything. Toronto. But otherwise, you can say it a ton of other ways. Toronto. Trono. Toronto.
You mean Trono?
Trono, yes. Mike Dempsey says, with another $5 super chat. So thank you very much, Mike Dempsey. I really appreciate your support. Says, just here to buy your McMuffin. Enjoy, but Colt and Kenny teaming up would be like, what? Yeah, I don't see them getting together, although I have enjoyed their skits on what the hell is the show called? Being the Elite. That's it. I only watch it every week.
P. Elite.
The Elite.
Elite.
Elite. Wow, 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 wow. It is too early for this. Evil now setting up for a superplex on Naito. And he hits the superplex. You may have been asked when you were on Quizlemania back then, but I don't know if they were running this gimmick. But what is your go-to fast food chain?
Oh, well, my girlfriend is a big McDonald's fan. I don't really eat fast food. Just if it's just me. But together we'll often get fast food or she quite likes Shake Shack. Don't know if that's something you've got over there.
I mean, we don't have it, but I'm familiar with it.
Five Guys. She's a burger fan. We'll say. No one really into that. She likes a Big Mac or a Chicken Legend.
Oh yeah. Evil currently has the Scorpion Deathlock locked in on Naito. If we see a submission here, I'm just gonna lose my mind. Goodness gracious.
What?
I can't have both Jay White and Evil win. That would just be wild.
That would be weird.
You're not going to have a double heel match in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. That's not happening. Naito has gotten the ropes and forced the break of the hold.
What? What?
What? You what, mate? What? Yeah, Five Guys is probably my go-to if I'm treating myself. Darkness Falls for a near fall. Darkness near falls. Carol says, we're all missing out on the best fast food place in North Carolina, Cookout. Nothing is better ever. Well, if I'm ever in
angles.
If I'm ever in North Kakalaki, I will be sure to try it out.
Carol, you should visit one of our writers, Nate. He's from North Carolina.
He is. Akil Kadri says, did somebody just say North Carolina? Justin Roberts' voice.
North Carolina.
Big spine buster from Naito. I don't know if people are just trying to pay too much attention to this sort of thing, but they have pointed out that Kenny Omega's entrance in the last 2 weeks has included a phrase about someone from North Carolina. And they don't know if this is like, planting the seeds for something. I don't know what it would be. But
we were discussing this about FTR.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously from Rand there. I mean, like, AEW doesn't normally say stuff unless it has some kind of bearing on future things. But, I mean, it does seem like Kenny's going to be a single star now, so I don't see why FTR is going to have too much to do with it, unless he's going to start a faction with them, but that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense right now.
Would seem odd. Naito just hit a huge Frankensteiner from the top rope, and then Gloria for a near fall. And Deca Red here says, almost
Dino that misses it.
Oh. Oh, God. I don't want these guys to take any more German suplexes. But yeah, Deca Red says, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot, Tempest. That Kaiba's collector's box you got is somewhat valuable. I don't think it's a collector's box. I will say that. I haven't spent like good money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a while. From what he's seen, vendors do charge quite the pretty penny for a sealed one. Just to point out, well, none of my stuff is sealed. Destino.
Oh, he's gonna go for it again.
Yeah, because one Destino
again. That should be it. 1, 2. Oh, and Dick Togo pulls out Red Shoes. Oh, why couldn't
realistically, how is this not a disqualification? Like, where are Sonata and Shingo and Hiromu and Bushi?
Low blow. Is that a fuck? No, I was about to say that there's like a golf club.
No, it's just his weird choking thing.
Oh. Oh no. Is this really happening?
It's Yujiro. Yujiro
Which means that it's going to be Yujiro versus Naito in the final of Wrestle Kingdom.
Snap DDT.
Oh. Here comes Sonata. Wow, what a sharply dressed man.
That.
God, what a crap attempt at attacking them.
We said Hiroshi Tanahashi is a damn handsome man earlier. We might have just been talking about hair, but Sonata is a sharp-dressed man.
He is. There are very few people who could pull off an entirely white suit.
And it's not Dick Togo, who's also wearing an all-white suit. That's Sonata. He's a piece of all right. Yeah, he's just carrying them away.
That's fun.
Oh, boy. I don't want Evil to win this match. I have so much work to do after this.
What have you got to do?
I have to finish doing the recap, and I realized that I'd forgotten to film one bit, so I have to do that. I have to keep writing the script for a project I'm working on. Hopefully get at least a couple hours sleep at some point. Oh, Lord.
Yes, well, I'm going to go straight into reviewing Smackdown from last night with Luke because Pete's away. So do check that out later, everyone. Pete will be actually back for the news, but that's because he's got a green screen.
Oh, goodness.
What?
I'm just preparing for disappointment. Oh,
I still think Naito's got this.
I hope so. I mean, Christopher Jazzcat says, so what's your match of the week now, Tempest? I mean, probably Shingo and Minoru Suzuki, honestly. That match was thoroughly enjoyable. Like, I thought Jay White and Ibushi was also good, but, you know. I do love me some stiff as a horse action.
Hmm.
So these two are now exchanging blows back and forth. Oh, Lord.
Lots of forearms.
Mike Dempsey with a $2 super chat saying, all hail evil. Forearms back and forth. I really just need to see people challenging for the title that don't have seconds that are going to ruin matches and cause, interference and whatever.
Oh, the ref's gone down again.
Oh, just like don't stand that
low
close to
blow.
it. God damn it. Oh.
So why is that not a DQ?
God damn it. Like, I never need to see Evil in a goddamn main event again.
God damn is a very North American thing. Oh, hello. That was a good low blow.
Oh, he sure got him with the, like, phew.
Poor Io Shirai.
Yeah, right in the meat and two veg.
Oh. Oh. Here comes Jay White.
Here it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting.
Who does he want to face?
It's getting interesting.
That's what I thought. He's going to attack Evil.
Yep.
Oh, no, he's not.
We're getting a swerve.
No, we're not. Oh, we're still going to get a swerve. I still can't tell. What's he going to do? Oh, and here comes Ibushi. God, this is overbooked.
Yeah, it is. Ibushi! Oh my goodness, there's a lot happening right now.
Is Red Shoes going to recover now?
Keep in mind, he only had a leg thrown into him.
Yeah, that could have broken his arm, his ribs. Probably punctured a lung.
Oh, yeah.
Ruptured spleen. "30 minutes, man."
My nose is not meant to sit through 3-hour plus shows with no reprieve. Series of elbows now to Evil. Come on, Naito. Let's put him away.
Yes, this match has been long enough, and I need to go and record the Smackdown review.
Yes.
Feels like they've done all their angles, so I doubt once the match is over there's going to be anything else, but...
Oh, you never know. Let's see it. No. Sends Naito in the exposed buckle.
Yeah, but Naito gets him back.
Oh, but no, Evil's sent into the turnbuckle. Valib says, Tempest, buddy, Full Gear is going to be a 4-hour show. Yes, but I don't have to wear the mask for the whole show.
Yeah, he doesn't... He doesn't wear it all the time.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Carol. I'm not taking the mask off.
Oh, for crying out loud. Another low blow from Evil. And a lariat. 1, 2. Oh, thank God for that. Naito kicks out. Oh.
Christ.
I want it to end now.
I cannot deal. Yeah, honestly, this is like a Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles match. Just low blows left and right.
Oh, wow. What a slap.
That was a slap. Holy. And he hits that, that weird scoop slam brainbuster type deal.
And Destino. 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Oh, thank God. Oh, man.
I maintain I do not need to see Evil in a main event ever again. I just don't need to see it. Goodness gracious. Cool. No more of that now, please, now. Yeesh.
Wow.
Dat King says, we were close to Evil versus Jay White main eventing Tokyo Dome. That would curse 2021.
That's a bad way to start the year.
Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with Jay White being in a top spot. I was kind of set on Ibushi being in a top spot. I do not want to see Evil in main event matches. Like, I don't want to see it. Christopher Jazzcat with a $5 super chat saying, thanks again for the coverage. Love your work, folks. I'm with you. No more Evil main events. He sucks. Lewis Marshall says, closest we'll get to Sonata in a world title main event, though. Sadly. Haha. Oh.
Let's have a look. Is there going to be a promo which I can obviously translate perfectly for you all? While we wait, do not forget that tonight is arguably the biggest match of the year. Mr. Davis versus Lukewarm. Luke Owen, Full Gear predictions. Jam That Jam Championship tonight. The actual show itself starts at 1 a.m., but the buy-in and when starts at midnight, and that is when we will start our coverage of it. So that is 5 p.m. No, sorry, 7 p.m. for East Coast and 4 p.m. for West Coast viewers. And we have the tail of the tape there, just to take that in for a bit. It does look like there will be some level of promo from Naito here, as there often is at the end of New Japan shows.
Should have ordered this McDonald's earlier. I need it now.
What's the wait time?
I don't know yet. Trying to figure out if I can get a deal. I guess no one's ordering food at 6:20 in the morning.
Looks like he's asking. Out come Jay White's coming out. Oh, go away, Jay White, please. Just end the show.
I have a sinking suspicion that my tag team partner is not watching the show and will be very upset when he wakes up.
Jay White raises Naito's hand. And then he raises the briefcase. Gato has the mic at the moment, but Jay White now has it.
So Jay White has said that he is taking night one off.
Oh, that's surprising.
He is challenging Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP Double Championship on January 5th, night 2 of the Tokyo Dome. My McDonald's should be arriving in about 15 minutes. It's the real
Nice. Saying it's his destino to win. Oh, out comes Coda. Oh, bloody hell, this is overbooked. Oh. Could this be him challenging him on the first night?
I think it might be. What's it going to be, Coda?
Oh, he's just followed him out of the ring.
Jay White and Gato are taking off.
Good Lord. But Ibushi leads by looking back at Naito. Oh boy.
And now Naito will speak.
Oh wow, God, that was overbooked, he says. But I am the champion, and I will be at Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah! Wow, I'm so glad that Evil's not in the main event. God, that would have been rubbish, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
But do you like my hat? I have a weird face. Man, I can't wait for that McDonald's, he says.
Me too. Even he knows the people didn't want to see Evil versus Naito. Mike Dempsey with a $5 super chat says Jinder has been hindered by but Evil, he can be jammed. So jam that jam. Good brothers, we're coming for you. Be prepared. Well, the Good Brothers aren't champions anymore. If anyone is coming for anybody, we need to get those tag titles back from the North. But I digress.
Wow, give Wrestle2 a subscribe, he says. Wow, have you got the notifications on so you don't miss another video?
It's necessary. You got to do it.
Watch the recap later, he says. But did you watch Smackdown last night? Wow, crazy that Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy might be realigning with each other, especially after everything that has happened.
Who could have seen such a thing coming?
He says, can't wait for Full Gear tonight. Hope you're all watching on WrestleTalk. Can you imagine if you told an American wrestling crowd not to cheer?
Oh, yeah. Like, I have thought about this a lot. Like, I think, honestly, if AEW did it, they would probably listen. You know? Because, like, they asked them not to swear, and they started chanting things like "Holy cow,"
Yeah,
and cowboy stuff. So I think they would do it, but a WWE crowd absolutely would not.
Agreed. Well, that is the show. Are there any other super chats? Oh, there is. Oh no, we have. There's Mike Dempsey. Well, thank you all so much for those of you who did join us. I do have to go and record the Smackdown podcast now, unfortunately, so I will have to run away. But I imagine the next show we'll be back for is Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know whether that'll be myself and Tempest or whether that'll be another team. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, thank you all so much for your interest in this show. Do have a like, subscribe, share it around, click on the videos that appear wherever they are on the screen. But from me, Randy Andy Datson, and Tempest, that's where he is. Thank you very much.